What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP, and this is my co-host, Josh.
Hey, everybody.
And welcome back to another episode of the FilmBros Podcast. Okay, so, Josh, this isn't your typical episode, okay?
Yeah.
We are doing some typical things. We're going to go ahead and do a ranking for everybody in the celebration and in the spirit of the Marvels. That movie's going to be coming out. Actually, it should have released by the time this episode releases.
Yeah, it's going to be out. Yeah.
Predictions are kind of all over the place.
Doing poorly, actually.
Yeah, very poor expectations, reactions, poor everything.
Yeah.
I want to be able to break that down, have that conversation, and, you know, just get your side of it. But like I said, this is not going to be your typical ranking. We do have a guest. We do have somebody here that will kind of shed some light. I mean, we know what happens behind the scenes, but I kind of want to know what happens in the mind of people that aren't really familiar with, I guess, the behind the scenes. I want to get the take of the average MCU viewer, or the average or upcoming movie enthusiast who wants to, you know, start breaking movies down and start figuring out what's the reason why things aren't working out. But before we introduce our guest, can you go ahead and let the viewers know where they can talk to us, give us a movie they want to review? If they watch the Marvels, let us know how the Marvels goes. Good luck spending your money on that one. And if they want to support us in a big way or catch a live stream one day.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and FilmBros Podcast. We post new episodes or get us up there for any news or movies you want us to cover. Or let us know if you like the Marvels. Listen to us anywhere you get podcasts, at FilmBros Podcast, Spotify, YouTube Music, things like that. Support us in a big way. Buzzsprout, link is in the bios of the socials I just gave you. Supporters get special thanks and special perks just for you guys, so we recognize you for helping us out. Subscribe to our YouTube at FilmBros Podcast, and then catch a live every Saturday and throughout the week on our Twitch at FilmBros Podcast.
And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start jumping right in. Like I said, we have a ranking. We have a guest. I've been talking to him all week. He seems like a good dude. He has his own podcast. It's called the Pita Joe Podcast. And we got the host himself here to go ahead and give us his take and his ranking as well when it comes to the MCU as a whole. Joe from the Pita Joe Podcast. Hello.
What's up, guys?
Hey, man. How's it going, bro?
It's going. It's going good, actually.
Obviously, you know, we want to get your take on everything. We want to give you a chance to go ahead and let the audience know about your podcast, what you bring to it, and your kind of perspective. Just let the people know who you are.
Yeah, like you guys said, my name's Joe. I started the Pita Joe Podcast. It's I try to make an everything podcast about entertainment, mental health. Mental health is a big thing for me since I recently just went through a divorce. So I almost started the podcast as basically a way to vent and talk about things and get a lot of stuff off my chest and help out other people that are going through the same issues as me or already have been. So, yeah, I try to do everything. Like I said, movie reviews, game reviews, try to throw in some comedy. Like I said, mental health mainly.
Very good.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds dope. I've actually listened to a few of your episodes. I think they're great. I think one thing that really put me on was your, I believe it was your review of a Netflix show. I'm trying to remember what it was called. I believe it was like
did a couple.
Yeah, it was a Netflix one. I heard your Halloween one as well, and I was a bit offended, as you said, that Insidious wasn't scary because the monster looked like Darth Maul. It looked too similar. I was like, "What? That's my boy. You can't just call him out of
Am I
pocket
wrong though?
like that."
Does he not look like that though?
Well, he does. Yeah, but you don't have to say it.
Yeah, you don't say it out loud because now I can't watch the movie the same anymore. You know?
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's
man,
like what Scary Movie did for movies.
Yeah,
for horror movies. Yeah.
Maul hit some hard times or something. Apparently, got beat up by some kids in the afterlife or whatever.
But I do love Insidious. It's just that whole I don't know, just a bad guy. just doesn't do it for me.
No.
Okay.
All right.
I guess that's
It's too
fair.
close to home.
Yeah, it's fair. That's completely fair. So, obviously, we've talked about certain things. We have an episode out actually today about basically breaking down a Variety article and talking about actually talking about that whole article about Marvel wanting to do some very desperate things. We wanted to get your take on it right now in a couple minutes, but I kind of wanted to start by kind of asking you. You're a Marvel fan, right?
Yeah, definitely more than DC. Yeah.
Oh,
Damn.
That's some
love
beef with
both.
Josh that you're gonna have to handle in a,
I mean,
in
I
a
love
little
both.
bit.
Don't get me wrong, but Marvel's just a little higher for me.
Interesting. Okay.
I think it's just I don't know, just the recent DC crap. Like I don't know, they just haven't appealed to me recently. I love like the Dark Knight series. That's my favorite, but
Yeah. Okay.
just the recent
That's
stuff.
fair.
I can't do.
Okay. So I'm pulling up the screen right now for you, so you can go ahead and
cool, yeah.
look at it as well. But obviously, the Marvels is going to be coming out on November 10th. That's why we're going to be doing this ranking to kind of see where is the state of Marvel, where is our mindset. Obviously, I'm going to be taking notes to make sure we're all on the same page because there's obviously a definitive answer, and we're going to find out here today what are the best MCU movies out there. When were you first introduced to the MCU? Did you watch from the beginning, or did you jump in from a certain point?
Honestly, about 3 years ago, I watched every single movie straight for maybe like a month straight. I binged the shit out of it, and I don't. Am I able to curse sometimes on here?
No, you can't, man.
I don't,
Go ahead.
I don't want to overstep. I've
Feel
heard you guys,
free.
so-
Feel free.
But,
yeah.
Just don't
Okay.
say anything that's gonna get
Yeah,
you
so,
in
like,
trouble.
Yeah, so like about 3 years ago, I started watching it. I've watched each one again, so twice through basically. I've watched Infinity War a shit ton of times already, and yeah, I'm just a big fan. I never really read the comics though, so that's the part I want to learn about a little bit.
Okay.
Oh. All right. Not
But I
bad.
can't really connect the two.
No, yeah. I mean, comics don't really. I say if you're gonna read comics, just don't think that you're whatever you're gonna get in there is what you're gonna get in live action because that it seems like that's a big a big deal for a lot of
Basically, yeah.
comic readers. Usually,
Yeah. They get really offended when something small doesn't look like it's supposed to or whatever. It's such a weird phenomenon.
Just reading comments from people, yeah, I noticed that a lot.
that
Like they're very loyal to the comics, you know?
yeah. Well, I was gonna ask about what you thought about comic accuracy, but since you don't read comic books, I guess it doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
but so I asked you to do some research. I know that you said that you did a little bit, but obviously we know that apparently Marvel as a whole is not looking so well, according to some people. I don't know if you heard about this, known about the downfall of Marvel, like how box office has been going for every single MCU movie, Rotten Tomato score, all that, etc.
Yeah, I've been paying attention. It's not great. I mean, it's disappointing, and I get it. I really do because they've been letting us down recently.
You have out of curiosity, have you felt like you've checked out of Marvel? Are you still invested? Do you watch them? Do you check them out?
I checked out after She-Hulk, honestly, 'cause
okay.
that is the worst to me.
Okay.
I can't even stomach it. Like, I got like 3 episodes in, and I was like, nope.
Okay.
Can't.
So you did watch the shows then?
Yeah, I love like WandaVision. I love Loki.
Okay.
I love Hawkeye.
Okay. That's
Oh,
interesting.
You liked Hawkeye? Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, I know it has really nothing to do with the MCU at this point, but I just liked who's the chick in it?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
There you
Haley
go.
Haley Steinfeld's
He-
character.
He,
Yeah, I loved her character.
he got
I
his
just love the
mind on
show.
straight.
I really do like the show. Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. So, that obviously we know about its issues. We got a few more movies that are supposed to be coming out soon. Thunderbolts is coming. Fantastic Four. Echo, we just got a trailer for that. I don't know if you wanted to checking that out yet.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be like violent, like more mature.
Yeah. So they say.
Yeah.
So they say.
Yeah, so they say. Yeah.
Kang Dynasty coming out. Secret Wars. It's been pushed back. Obviously, they even fixed the date on here as well. Pushed it to 2026 and 27. Isn't that depressing? So, but as a whole, we will be talking about Marvel as we go down our lists. But right now, the Marvels is in jeopardy. Phase 4 has gone into an all-time low, where Hollywood Reporter is looking at this movie opening weekend, opening from 75 to 80 million. Quorum saying 80 million to 90, but the worst of all is Box Office Pro, who's saying 50 to 75 million. Now, most people are guessing. I mean, obviously it's all a guesstimation, but the fact that three different, usually is unified when they're talking about estimates. Like what one says, all of them are going to say. Marvel is a phenomenon. Obviously, we know that it's not the same. They're not the same breed as other franchises. They're not the same breed as DC or the Hunger Games or, you know, even X-Men. They're in a whole different league.
Yeah, basically.
So they can't get their money right with how much they believe it's going to make in the box office. I mean, did we see this coming? Out of curiosity, Josh?
I would think so. I mean, with no marketing on its back, which I don't know how much that would have helped. I want to say that, yeah, we saw this coming.
Yeah.
Maybe everyone was right, and that first Captain Marvel was a fluke because they thought it was necessary to watch it before Endgame.
Okay. What about you, Joe? Did you see this coming, that a Marvel movie would make less than 100 million opening weekend?
Yeah. After I watched She-Hulk. No, it's just been going downhill. Just breaking up the Avengers like they did in Endgame. I feel like after Endgame, it's been hit or miss, mainly miss. So I'm not surprised, honestly.
That's crazy. You two share the same opinion about it derailing after Endgame, which is insane.
Those last two Avengers movies were like the mecca of Marvel. You know what I mean? Like how do you even top those?
Exactly. How do you
I don't know
top
how you
them?
do.
Actually, I feel
Maybe
like
Secret Wars.
If we want to be honest, they kind of peaked with Infinity War, and Endgame kind of felt like a lesser version of it. To be honest, I would argue and say Infinity War was the peak.
And definitely. That's 100% for me, at least.
Because even after that, when Captain Marvel came out, that's when all that the breeding of the MCU and, you know, everybody saying that Marvel's only making women. You know, you got Soups over here saying that Marvel is in shambles. That crazy straw hat guy on TikTok, he be saying the same shit. But there's certain specific people that say MCU. I mentioned it to you, Joe. I gave you a list through DM. I don't really like saying their names because I don't like to give it clout, because I don't believe women are ruining the MCU. I don't believe that at all. Do I feel as if there should be a time and a place to put them in there and not feel like they got to be forced? That's something. I mean, everybody in Endgame and during Endgame said that whole scene where all those girls were kind of put together to fight Thanos felt kind of forced at the time. You know, like,
yeah.
And then when the boys put out a girl fight scene, everybody was like, oh yeah, like this was organic. This felt like it was meant to do that. So people could do it right. I personally feel Marvel hasn't been doing it right, and making a heavy change that heavy-handed is hurting the fan base as well. What are you guys? What are your guys' thoughts on the whole MCU epidemic?
Well, you know, I don't like it. You know, I hate that they say that. I can agree though that really not shoehorning, because I guess that's a really bad word for me to like say. It's more of just they haven't done very well of propping them up like they were supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Wanda was turned into a villain even though she was a good guy. She was probably the only one to get that development, and then she died. But Captain Marvel
basically
hasn't gotten that development. She got one movie, and now she's supposed to share the spotlight. Miss Marvel wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't really watch it. And then, Monica Rambeau, I still don't really care for her character outside of what she does in WandaVision.
Yeah, she's great in WandaVision.
Yeah.
One of my favorite characters.
What about
I think it comes down to Disney. They've been pushing this agenda for years now. I mean, just look at some of their movies before the Marvel stuff.
All right, so you set agenda on your own. I didn't say that, so
Yeah,
I was
it is an agenda.
I was curious.
It is an agenda.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I just wanted to get your take on that then. So, you believe this MCU movement is something that is happening then?
Yeah, I just don't like the whole woke movement.
Oh,
It does
okay,
feel
okay.
forced.
Yeah, yeah. And
It's definitely far left.
I feel that. I 100% feel that. I know what you mean because I've talked to people who watch these movies and they tell me that that's what they feel as well. Like there's a lot of wokeness within these movies, a lot of leaning left ideology. Now, I don't want to go into the politics of all that. I feel like that is something that starts.
I'm the same way on my podcast. So
I feel like that goes too far. But I will say there is some validity when one says that they could be shoving certain ideas down the viewers or the consumer's throat. Like before, it used to be organic where, you were wanting to come watch these movies. Now it feels like they're not only trying to give you a movie, but tell you that something underneath it all, right?
Oh yeah. Yep. Definitely hidden agendas. But not so hidden, I should say. I mean, a lot of it's blatant.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all agenda based.
Interesting.
I mean, it's there and it's underneath and it's everywhere. It's not just Marvel and Disney either. I mean, it's a lot of movies nowadays and shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
to be honest, we've seen it. I mean, and I'm not like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say like from what the creator said. I know they said that Doctor Who was changing it up. Star Wars was doing the same thing. Marvel as well. That they're putting a lot of certain ideologies behind these movies. Now, obviously, Disney's more of a pioneer for how would you say, like a lot of younger generation ideas. So could we say potentially that maybe we're outgrowing the MCU?
I mean, it is. I think it is comic book fatigue too.
Comic book fatigue. That's another way
Like
to put it as well.
I really think it is, and I love comic book movies, but they need to space it out more, put out less.
Now, are you just
I really
directing
think
that?
even as a fan? I mean, that's DC and that's MCU.
Okay,
I mean, both.
So you're just sick of like the genre in general, superhero genre?
I don't want to say the word sick, but I feel like they're rushing everything. They're trying to put out too much quantity over quality. There's too much quantity over quality right now. And before it was quality.
Oh yeah, we've kind of been we've been saying that for a while. I feel like every MCU fan at least has been saying that for a while about the whole quality over quantity. Some say it more than others, and some only shill it out. But I mean, I really feel like that's just the main thing where now they're taking it slow, or they're trying to take it slow with the whole revamp and Echo and stuff. But yeah, it definitely feels like it's a lot of quantity over quality.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that I would say that's something that is affecting this movie and has been affecting a lot of other MCU movies is that quality over quantity, right? The CGI has been a mess. VFX have been kind of bad. The acting, we can admit some scenes don't really hit as they're supposed to. That kaiju fight in Moon Knight, crazy.
Random ass kaiju fight.
Have you noticed that, Joe, that there was a lot of shoddy CGI and all that?
Oh, definitely the CGI, which I don't understand in this day and age, how they could fuck that up. But yeah, it's been ugly.
Where there's a will, there's a way. And believe it or not, they're not paying people fairly, and they're wondering why they're not getting any work.
A lot of it is the strike too. I mean, people just aren't working as hard, and I don't really blame them. I mean, they're getting walked on, most of them. So. But I do think there's a fix. We need better balance between comedy and seriousness as far as the storytelling goes.
When it comes to the MCU?
Yeah, like Taco, I forget how to say his name. Taco Waititi tries to force too much comedy into his stuff, which I love comedy. I'm a big comedy person first, but he tries to put too much and not enough seriousness.
There's a time and a place
that really hurts
for
his films.
Okay. I have a question. I gotta ask.
They're doing that with a lot now.
I got a question, Joe. You gotta answer me, man. You gotta humor me. Did you like Ragnarok?
It's in my top 10. I'll tell you that.
So Love and Thunder turned you off. Love and Thunder turned you off.
That's in my top 10 too. Here, listen. I'm a big Thor and a big Captain America fan, so that'll just tell you enough. But I don't like the serious Thor movies. the first two,
Interesting.
but I like the last two. I know. I get it. I said they force feed it, but a lot of it's funny, especially Ragnarok to me. I love
Okay,
Ragnarok.
so are you one to like find comedy within your within like you like the more humorous route that Disney has been kind of going with Phase 4 and 5?
As long as they're mixing in some serious stuff, I don't mind it. Like Guardians 3 did it perfect, I think, for the most part. It wasn't a great movie, but the balance was nice because they had like a lot of deep scenes and then they had like funny shit. You know?
Okay.
Josh, I gotta hear your take, man.
Interesting.
I know, he's already disagrees
Like
with me. I get
this, you are blowing Josh's mind right now. Okay,
Yeah,
first from the top, you heard what he had to say, Josh. I need a response.
I mean, I don't really, I've said it multiple times. I'm not a big fan of all that heavy-handed comedy. Like, I think Taika Waititi's humor and James Gunn's humor aren't for me. I've seen Taika Waititi's other filmography. I've watched Jojo Rabbit. Like, it's funny there, but maybe it's because he tried to take that and he tried to do too much goofy stuff with Love and Thunder. And then Ragnarok, I wasn't really vibing with Ragnarok anyway. I'm not a fan of that Hulk. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm sure we'll dig into that when we do our ranking and we find out where you place those movies. But for me, I just don't vibe with that kind of humor. It's too childish to me. I feel.
To me, it's more I just love the character of Thor and the character of Captain America. I don't know.
That's interesting.
I don't know.
Oh, no. See, Captain America, I get, but Thor for me, I'll say it now, like, I don't really like, I've said it before, but I don't really like Thor in his solo movies. I prefer him when he's in the Avengers, and he peaked for me in Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, and that's where I usually tell him to put the pipe down, but he doesn't do it.
I knew we would have disagreements, but that's great though, honestly.
Yeah, no,
this is all opinion, you know.
Yeah, no, it's great. I like the.
If we all agreed, it wouldn't be as fun.
Exactly. I like this. I like it. It's good tension that we can cut with a with a butter knife if we want. Not a real knife because I don't want you guys poking each other with it. But
can I throw in one thing real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you see that RDJ signed a contract to return?
We have not heard
for Secret Wars. Yeah, I saw it on multiple sites. He just signed a contract to return to Marvel. So
that probably just happened recently. I haven't seen it. I've been preparing for the episode, but if that's something that's happened and it's already a done deal, that's insane. Because I was about to ask you myself, the article that we did bring up earlier. What do you think about them even considering bringing them back and bringing back the OG cast?
Well, because I heard for Secret Wars, isn't that is it like a multiversal thing? Like they could bring like different versions of them back or something like that. I don't read the comic books, so I don't really know how Secret Wars turns out. But from what I heard, it's a multiversal story. So I think they could bring back a version of them, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so you would want him back then?
Oh hell yeah! I love Robert Downey in that role.
Because my opinion on that, I would prefer, and for those listening out there, we did talk about this. There's an episode out right now you can listen to, so go check that out. #self-plug. But I even said myself that I don't mind if there's a variant of an Iron Man to come back, but to bring back RDJ just out of desperation isn't a good look for the company, and I don't think it would be the positive outlook that you would want for your universe when you're trying to drive something forward. I would say a variant would work though.
But I feel like they're stuck in the mud though. Like that would prop them back up.
So you think the desperation move should be done from them?
Yeah, as a fan service, yeah. I mean, they did it with Spider-Man, right?
Well, I mean, I guess that would be
that's a good argument right there.
Yeah, no, that would be the thing, because if they have the Hail Mary option, which is bring them back, right? And obviously that could get them the touchdown they're looking for, but then, critics will obviously be like, well, no, we know it was a cop-out. Granted, it worked, and they went for it, but at the same time, we'll know it's a cop-out.
But that's assuming that they do it right, though. Because you could bring them back, but if you're still making these shows and movies the way that you have been, like Love and Thunder, fucking
on my list.
Yes, I know. Eternals, fucking Shang-Chi, like all those movies, if you're making movies like that, it doesn't matter if you bring RDJ back, because you're just gonna do some bullshit like that, and I would say would hurt RDJ's image more than anything he's ever done in his life.
Even drugs? No, I'm
Yeah.
like,
Even being in prison, I don't know.
I mean, he bounced back and became Iron Man. So I mean,
Oh hell yeah, prison was good for him.
exactly. He said, I do not want nothing up my butt. I need to get my shit together." Mm.
Man, so that was a little Shang-Chi diss, right?
No,
that's what it sounded like to me.
I honestly, there's some movies, like I said, Marvel as a whole, there's some movies that I still enjoy, but there's movies that I enjoy that they put out there that don't really do anything for me besides, okay, I can watch this once in a while,
like a
get something out of it, and then move on. Shang-Chi is one of those that I would put in that category. I can probably watch it once in a while for the hand-to-hand combat, and I do like the whole the fight scenes with how when he learns his mom's moves and the mom and the dad or all that stuff. But it doesn't have enough to make me want to be like, fuck yeah, I would vouch for this movie for everybody to watch. Because I honestly believe if Marvel's going to be putting out movies, even bringing back RDJ to put out certain movies, that they need to make movies that are for everybody and not just for whoever the hell is watching it right now. Because what the hell is going on with half the shit that they're doing? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it because they were on such a roll for such a long time, and now all of a sudden it's just like shit after shit, you know, like they just can't get it right. And I don't know what the formula is. I think losing those original Avengers really hurt them, and I know it had to happen at the time, but I don't know. It's just not the same.
Yeah, that was I would say is a big L for Marvel. They shouldn't have never eliminated them so fast. I mean, I guess it wasn't fast. 10 years is a long time, but if you know that these are the household names that you made, I don't understand why you shoot yourself in the foot and just get rid of them and try to blow past them. You know, like you could have easily used them. I would have thought, you know, somebody else could have sacrificed themselves. Maybe Gamora herself. That would have probably hit a little bit harder. You know, but maybe that's a subtle Guardians of the Galaxy diss. Maybe it's not. Stay tuned to find out. But
I know how you guys feel about James Gunn.
Oh, man,
not you guys. I don't want to be lumped up with that.
Okay.
I don't want like. I would
I know
say
you guys don't love him. I should say.
Okay, yeah, I don't love him, Josh. I think the opposite of love is to be said.
He shot my dog, man.
The best way to look at this for me is look at the original Avengers and look at what it's lining up to be right now. Like, it's just not interesting. I mean, Captain Marvel. Who else we got? We got that who's the teenager chick? Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Like, they're just not interesting. They're not a dog. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just, does that compare to Thor, Captain America, RDJ as Iron Man? Like, it doesn't at all. Like, it doesn't even touch it, you know? It's just not interesting.
I gotta ask your opinion. I gotta ask your opinion on Wakanda Forever 2.
It's a movie. That's about it. It wasn't better than the first one, obviously, but I didn't mind it. I liked what was the bad guy's name? The dude that could swim.
Oh, Namor.
Yeah, I liked him a lot.
Namor.
More, yeah. He was good. The rest of it, I mean, I liked the tribute. That was a very emotional tribute for Black Panther, but I liked it. I mean, I didn't love it, but I liked it.
Very good.
You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't like, oh, I probably will never watch it again, but
That's fair.
it was fun. I think the special effects were pretty good in it too, compared to these recent ones.
Okay. And I mean, since we have you here, I kind of want to get your take. Have you heard about the Jonathan Majors case that's happening? Did you look into any of that?
No, but I just hope to God he's innocent because he's fucking phenomenal. He's such a good actor.
Okay, so you like him?
He's
as
the one
Kang.
who's going to save the MCU. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
Yeah. We need that bad guy, Kang.
Okay,
We
some
need him.
common ground between you two. Some common ground.
Yeah.
We're getting somewhere.
We need that.
So
Because he is the next best to Thanos.
okay,
Exactly.
Okay, so you're a fan then. You're a fan of him.
Oh hell yeah!
So
He's amazing.
if he
everything he does.
If he loses
Everything.
out, you're gonna be hurt by that.
Oh yeah, how do you replace him? Like, who do you get?
Exactly.
Like, who do you get?
My thoughts exactly.
Plays that
Denzel
role,
Washington,
He's
my
not
man.
gonna
Get
play
Especially in Loki.
Denzel,
He's
bro.
not gonna. He's not.
That
gonna
fucking
play
last scene in Loki season 1. Oh my god, he was incredible.
Oh yeah, man. I'm telling
Incredible.
you.
Like, I can't even. He's just incredible. To lose that talent would be devastating for the MCU.
Exactly. See, common ground.
No, he got the point. I can't even cap. He got the point. But what about, I guess, last thing before we move on to our actual ranking? What about pivoting away from Kang in case he is actually a villain in real life? What if they pivot away and have brought in Doom, like they have discussed?
Oh yeah, I mean, from everything I heard about Doom, he's pretty badass, so I wouldn't mind that. But praying for Majors that he's innocent for the most part.
Okay,
So,
all right. So
hey, if he's a villain in real life, I mean, that makes him perfect for the MCU, right? They still use He still uses what's his face, the Flash. So
Ezra Miller,
I'm sure he's done far worse.
I was gonna say Josh Brolin too. He's one of those that
Oh yeah. They used him
so
twice if you count Deadpool.
True.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there is wiggle
You
room.
can bounce
around
back.
it. There is wiggle room, but hopefully he is as innocent as we think he is.
Yeah.
But with that, I mean, I guess we're ready to jump in. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start jumping into the top 10 ranking. We got all the sides of the panel here. We know where everybody stands. Josh is at a standoff with Joe. I'm here in the middle mediating it because let's be honest, somebody's list has to be the definitive list here around here. And
I don't know.
I like to paint myself as someone who is able to look through the biases and kind of just appreciate the movie for what the movie is. Maybe I let nostalgia play into mine. Sometimes I believe when I have my list. So obviously the definitive list was a joke. I know everybody has their own list. So hopefully we get down at least to the meat of everything and figure out where Marvel went wrong, what movies are honestly the most beloved by everybody. And after all that, we'll go ahead and have the discussion of where we feel the MCU as a whole should be going. If we figured out what the MCU has lost, that we're at this heartbreaking point that the Marvels won't even potentially see at least $500,000
For sure.
Like that's pretty heartbreaking for a Marvel film, especially after the article that we read that if it ain't breaking $500,000 for Marvel, it's not breaking even. So, and that's a steep hill to climb, I'd say.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to do it, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll start it off then. Joe, you are our guest. I need to hear your top 10, man. I need to hear your very first, your number 10. Go ahead.
We're doing it in order, though, right? Like, I'll give my 10 and then you guys are...
Yeah.
I'm going to give it all at once.
Okay. We'll do it as a rotation. You'll give your 10th spot.
Okay, cool.
We'll have the conversation. He'll give his 10th spot. I'll give mine. I'll go last because I'm a nice host.
All right. My number 10 is Ant-Man and Wasp.
Holy damn!
I told you my list was shot.
Oh my
Yo,
god.
I'm comedy first, man.
Holy shit! Okay, hold on. I gotta write on the side of your name here real quick.
Oh my
Right,
god.
dipshit.
I was not expecting that.
That was a crazy. Okay, so what is appealing to you about Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I'll go through it now. I love the comedy in the movie. I love the action. I love the story. I fucking love the CGI. I think it's really good. Really underrated CGI for the MCU. I love Paul Rudd and Michael Pena in it, especially Michael Pena. He's fucking hysterical in this. They don't show him enough in it, honestly, but he's great in it.
He does his bit.
Yeah.
We talk about balance with seriousness and comedy. I think that this one has the perfect balance of both. I love the villain. I forget the chick's name. But you almost feel bad for
Ghost?
her too by the end of it. Ghost, yeah. I love the back and forth between Scott and Jimmy Woo, the officer. I also love Angelina or Evelyn. I always have trouble saying her name. Evangeline Lilly as Wasp.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've loved her since she appeared in Lost, which is my favorite show. And so yeah, I feel this movie is solid and it's underappreciated for what it is.
I appreciate it for what it is, and that's the bridge between Infinity War and Endgame, along with Captain Marvel. I really that's Interesting take. I can see that comedy really does play a part in the list. Are you more of a like comedy fan out of curiosity? Is that like your favorite genre?
Comedy and horror. Yeah.
Comedy and horror. Okay.
They're completely different, but yeah.
Yeah. The completely different sides of the spectrum, but I mean, hey man, it no judgment here. I honestly that's the first time I've ever would have heard anybody put Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's probably not in anybody's top 10, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a new one for me, actually.
Yeah. Goated response for just coming out swinging in the beginning.
But
so
you got to admit, like the CGI was really good in it.
I honestly,
When they do the big Ant-Man.
It's been a while since I've seen it, if I'm being for real.
I do enjoy the Ant-Man CGI. I love when he goes small and then like you can see the specks in the air and you know, when he goes big, the actual weight that he carries when he's that big. I do like the kitchen fight scene with Wasp in the second one, and I like the dude as well. The one with the one that comes out in that show that I told you about. What's his name? The dude with the teeth, and he's one of the villains. He's the guy, the one with the suit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I
The one that turns into MODOK, you talking about?
No,
not him.
Okay.
In the second one, it was the broker dude, the business dude.
Yeah, the one he was in American Ultra.
And there you go. Yeah, he was in American Ultra. I'm trying to remember his name, but I liked him because I honestly like him as an actor. I like seeing him in different like roles. Honestly, I like the Ant-Man movies for what they are, but I honestly could not get behind the second one. I could say the first one is probably really good. But the second one is the one where you kind of lose me there a little bit. 100%.
Yeah, like I said, I focus a lot on comedy.
That's
very good.
That's fair.
Always been a fan since I was a kid.
That's fair. I think that the second one has a lot more comedy, and I think it just. I guess my comedy aspect, it works a lot better than the third one. So I mean, I guess it's an interesting place to start.
That was a big letdown.
All right. So what about you, Josh? What's your number 10? Let me know.
My number 10 is Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Oh. Okay.
Despite Joss Whedon, because I know he's a piece of shit human, I really did like this one. I enjoy the introduction to Wanda and Pietro. As short-lived as Pietro is, I like that Pietro. I like the dynamic between the team here, only because that's when the foundation starts cracking and leads the way into Civil War. I like Ultron, the introduction to Vision. Like, this movie does a lot, and I know it's panned as like the worst Avengers movie or whatever, but for me, I always have a soft spot for it, just because of what it tries to do. And again, there's Joss Whedon. I'm indifferent only because I do know he's garbage, but I think despite him, it does have its flaws, and I can acknowledge them. But this one's still pretty good to me. Like, I'll really come out and enjoy it.
Okay. I honestly, besides the Whedon thing, obviously we all know Whedon's a fucking asshole and shit, but can't really complain. Kevin Spade as Ultron is actually really good. I ain't gonna lie.
When he's like no strings on me and things like that. Like his voice is just so like eerie. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I really like the picking up the hammer scene too.
Oh yeah.
They're partying in the mansion, or the building.
Oh yeah, and he makes it like kind of shake, but it doesn't really go.
Yeah, they brought that back in fucking Endgame, which is cool.
Yeah. A little callback. I mean, I guess we can't say no to that. I can't
knock it.
Yeah, no.
Any Avengers in the top 10 for me.
I would say so too, 100%. I can't say that.
Them together is amazing. All of them, all four.
They made it work the best that they can. It is what it is. So no gripes from you, Joe. Do you agree with?
No, I mean I could see it being in there.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. So, my number 10. You guys ready for this?
It's gonna be go ahead.
Iron Man 2.
Ooh. Okay.
Iron Man 2. Man 2. I know they a lot of people say it's the worst Iron Man movie. I disagree.
I think 3 is, but yeah.
We probably agree on that one. I feel like 3 is probably a little bit down, but I still don't hate 3. I would like to say that I like the PTSD aspect of it and all that. But Iron Man 2, it has a special place in my heart. I like, even though I feel Whiplash is kind of like a bitch in this movie, I fucking love what they did. Elon Musk having a cameo in there was just insane watching as growing up. The Iron Man going through his drinking problem is something that I was like, on board with. I was like, okay, this man has all this power. That's a little realism for me. You know, like when you have all that power, you're gonna have all these problems, and you're gonna turn to something to help you with that. And I like that Disney didn't shy away from that aspect. I mean, they didn't go full force like I was hoping they would, but they at least showed you like how irresponsible he was getting. I like the whole the finding the new arc for himself by the end of the movie. The whole it still makes me like tear up watching it now, is like that whole relationship with his dad when he's just watching the videos and he's just like, I can't live up to this, man. That's something that hits home all the time. But yeah, this movie being the worst Iron Man, I can't say that that's the case.
I think it'd be Iron Man 3 too.
And come on, the fucking suitcase suit up scene, bro, that's hands down top 10 scenes in the MCU.
Iconic for sure.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No real gripes other than that. Too low.
Too low?
Too low.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's a little sneak peek for him. What about you, Joe? I'm ready for anything.
I'm
defending.
I like Iron Man more in the Avengers movies, to be honest, but I'm not.
Oh, you don't like him in his solo movies?
No. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the solo movies.
No?
That's interesting.
No, I love
that's what they
RDJ,
take.
but
Why is that? Elaborate.
because he's kind of an asshole in those movies. Like he's not very relatable. He's what do you say? He's more likable in the Avengers movies.
To this. Man.
Yeah, no, I'm an asshole too, but like he's just not very likable in them. Like he's very arrogant in the first three.
But I feel like that's the point of his character.
He definitely humbled himself later. Yeah, definitely. But I like the more humble Iron Man.
Oh yeah, like towards the end.
Player. Yeah, I like the team player. But I have no gripes with it. I mean, I love the villain. They did dumb him down. He could have been so badass. Like his special. Yeah. Like those fucking cables and shit. Like he was badass. Yeah. I love the crash scene too. And,
yeah. It's a good movie.
Has a lot of good moments in it.
100%.
I can't knock that one.
It's just that it's too
more
low for me.
Than
it's too low.
Yeah.
Damn.
What's interesting about this list, and I think we're gonna come to find it out, is there's 32 movies, and we only have 10. So you don't really know where it's gonna go. You know,
we need
what I
like
mean?
10 people to get like a definitive.
I know. Yeah.
30.
It's
great, man. I
10
love
out of 30. That's what I was doing too, because I'm one of those that I have to like write them down, visualize them, and then I gotta like redo the list. I do the list at least 3 times when I'm like doing it, because I just really want to like be thorough. And I'm just like, damn, like there's 30 movies. A good chunk of them got to go real quick. So that was easy. I was just like, doop, 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 doop. And then I was just like, after that, it was like choosing between my babies. I was like, what am I doing here?
So but I yeah, go ahead.
No, that's you. Go.
I did the math, and I think maybe 2 of them will be the same for all of us. Maybe not the same spot, but 2 of them in the top 10. That was my guess. I think.
Interesting.
I could be wrong.
That's weird. That's interesting.
I think at least 2 of them.
I would say at least
that could
4.
be on all 3 of our lists.
I would think the all Avengers movies would be in top 10.
Wait, all of them?
I would assume.
I'm not gonna comment. Yeah.
No. Damn. Okay. All right. What's your number 9, Joe? We need to hear this. We need to keep going.
You're gonna bash me for this one, I think. Multiverse of Madness.
Holy fuck, bro! What the hell?
I love Sam Raimi. I love the horror aspect of this.
They got him with the agenda.
Dude,
they got this man with the agenda.
I'm obsessed with Elizabeth Olsen. I'm obsessed with Wanda.
Yeah,
WandaVision is my favorite show by far for Marvel. It's not even close to me. Yeah, I think the good outweigh the bad in this. I fucking love the scene with Wanda destroying the Illuminati. That was so badass. The CGI was top notch there too. It wasn't expected for me, at least, and she just fucking racked them real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just thought that was really cool. She was definitely OP in this, obviously, and I love her performance as Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
So this was an easy top 10 for me.
That's fair.
And I get it was a letdown in some aspects, especially the multiverse part, because they didn't really explore that besides what, like a 1 minute falling through.
Going through different dimensions all quick.
Which was cool though.
I feel like Multiverse of Madness is it has a lot of good moments, but I don't think the movie's good. I like
You know what? I think it could have been better as a show to actually show the different worlds. You know what I mean?
expand more on it and all that. Yeah,
Yeah,
spend a
more of a
little bit more
show.
time.
Yeah.
That would have actually made a perfect show. Yeah, because that
Yeah.
would have they can go to different multiverses and be on the run technically through episode, and that would
Yeah.
have been something worth watching.
Yeah, maybe
Because they
Fucking
teased
hire
with
us,
all those
Marvel. What
worlds.
the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
Like, oh my god,
cooking up all these ideas.
Oh,
Each episode a different world, a different multiverse. Like that would have been cool.
yeah, yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah. Like I said, I think great moments. I'm not sure about great movie. I don't know about top 10 material, but what about you, Josh?
No real gripes. I would say I don't want to give it away. No, but I mean, I guess I'd say it's too low. I mean, if you were gonna place it anywhere, I think it should be a little higher. But I guess it's fine. At least it made it to top 10. Nine ain't bad.
Yeah.
I think you guys are gonna be like.
So,
what
so
the-
you liked it then, right?
Yeah, I liked
Or you
it.
appreciate
I
it?
liked it a
Okay,
lot
good.
more than he did.
Oh, I was too harsh.
I think-
I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know what I think the problem was? All of us overhyped it. Like all of us.
Well, yeah.
'Cause the trailer was amazing. When we heard like the horror aspect, we were expecting a lot more. I think personally, at least for me.
I believe, yeah. But I don't think it wasn't wrongfully so, because Fahi very much put emphasis on it, signing Sam Raimi on there to be like, yeah, you're gonna make this movie scary for the audience so they can fear Wanda and make her like this villain in this one, so the Sorcerer Supreme or whoever, Doctor Strange, can go attack her and show off the multiverse in that fashion. There was going to be some dark universes that Sam Raimi could have highlighted, but they completely snuffed out his vision in to sacrifice it for that formula that Marvel likes to throw in there. So I thought it had potential. I mean, the rumors and the leaks that were coming out, I mean, I heard they're real. I mean, a lot of people say that they're real. It's just that it will never see the light of day, because some of them, I mean, that one fight scene, that previous fight scene that leaked or whatever that was shown, of Wanda like decapitating people, stabbing them, all that stuff, that was some rated R shit that Marvel was not going to allow. And that would have made that movie 10 times better. And if it was lacking in the multiverse aspect.
For sure. I mean, that's the thing. Wanda as a villain is cool and stuff, and she does badass things, but this movie would have benefited if they would have just kept with Nightmare as the bad guy. Save Wanda for another day.
Yeah. Build her up to be that villain.
Yeah.
How are you going to take her from WandaVision, where she kind of just walked away fine, and
then all of a sudden she comes back, but evil.
Well, no, she was.
They should have
She was
built
reading
something
that,
up a little
that dark
bit more.
book though.
yeah, by the end of the movie, or by the end of the show, but
it was it was.
they were
quick,
making it seem like she was tamed, trying to look for her kids, and then it went from looking for her kids to turning into a frantic, like, how to say, like some kind of obsession really quick. And I understand that does that to you if need be, but I would have thought Doctor Strange would have been all over her way before anything like that. I don't like how she was just completely overlooked, and then in the next movie that she
seeing that he
in,
could see
she's
the future, like he did in was it Infinity War?
basically,
Where he's like, I see all these possibilities. Yeah,
basically,
Or
Okay,
even
he would've got a
then,
ping.
because
I mean, if she's a threat and a nexus to the multiverse, why wouldn't he?
he should have got a ping or something.
because even then, I mean, what did he do to Thor and Loki in Ragnarok? Where he's like, oh, Loki is a threat to the universe, you got to get him out of here. And then he got him out of there kind of quickly.
Yeah.
Like, that should have been something like that Doctor Strange should have stepped in immediately.
Yeah, exactly. So, that, I mean, like I said, cool moments. I wouldn't say story. It was all there. There was some things lacking, but I think that's happening with a lot of Phase 4 movies. Continuity is just not sticking anymore. And I think that's an issue within Phase 4 as well. So that's another thing.
Yeah.
I think you guys are gonna not like my number 9.
See,
Okay.
Why you say it like that, like a villain?
We ready? Or
you gotta sell this shit.
nah,
Say it's
man,
the
I'm
best.
already prepared to get scolded, man. My number 9 is Captain Marvel.
Oh, whoa.
God.
I actually really like this one. I remember when we
I
went
want
to
to hear
the
the
theaters.
explanation. Yeah.
When we went to the theaters to go watch it, I remember really liking it. There is some moments where it's like, what the fuck? That is probably why it is at 9. But I don't think those events don't hinder it from being a good movie for me, at least. I like the ending where she shows up and shows out. The big fight scene she does have, like her powers and stuff. Like, this is what I mean though when I say that they put her on this big pedestal, and then she kicks ass in Endgame, but in her sequel she's probably gonna take a back seat. So, but I like that they teed her up to be this powerful thing, and I guess the answer to Thanos's stones or whatever. I know that sounds wrong, but kind of funny. And I kind of, I don't know. I kind of enjoy this movie. I like, out of the two movies between the bridge of Ant-Man and Wasp and this one to Endgame, I think this one goes like a good chunk away just to set her up and then be like, no, she's just badass in Endgame.
I mean, I'm going to start my response with, I'm not mad because Captain Marvel was fighting with Iron Man 2 and a couple other movies for 10th spot. So I don't hate the movie. I just thought that there was a tad more potential there. But otherwise, it was near top 10 material for me. I really don't have a lot of gripes for it. I like Jude Law in there as the villain. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people say they hate Brie Larson, but I really don't have any personal issues with her besides she could be a bitch in real life sometimes. Like, that's about it. Like, women shit. I don't care. But other than that, I mean, I don't really. I guess one gripe would have to be the whole cat gouging out Samuel L. Jackson's eye. I gotta say, like, that was a letdown. Like, okay, that's the badass thing that happened to his eye. That's so stupid.
You thought it'd be more epic, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb, but other than that, I mean, I can't really say too much about that one. But what about you, Joe? What's your response?
I feel like we should have done like a bottom 5 list. Because this would be in it for me, honestly. Like, I'm not knocking it,
garbage.
But, the only redeeming quality is it took place in the 90s. That's about it for me.
You saw a blockbuster for crying out loud, bro.
Yeah, and I'm a 90s kid, so yeah. I just think Brie Larson isn't likable as a actress. I don't know. I don't know.
She has a bitch face.
I don't. Yeah, everlasting bitch face.
Yeah, do a negative things.
Yeah, I didn't like I don't know. I didn't like anything about it, honestly. But hey, it's all opinion based. If you love it, you love it.
I heard one thing.
I'm not gonna knock you for it.
I heard one thing, and let me know if you've seen this clip, Joe. But there was a deleted scene that came out of Captain Marvel, where I guess Brie Larson basically humiliated some dude, and
the biker guy.
Yeah, the biker guy.
I guess he was hitting on her or whatever.
Yeah, and like did all that, and it really got people hot for some reason. Like, if they were trying to, like, she was trying to make her seem all like, I don't know. I didn't really get it, but did you see that clip?
No, but she just seems non-genuine, like almost like a fake person to me, at least. Like, I don't know.
I could see that.
That's not what killed it for the movie. I just didn't like the story. I mean, Jude Law was great in it, but I don't know. I don't like it. Yeah,
and then obviously, if you have some kind of issue with the lead person, it's going to be very hard to watch.
It felt like a filler movie. Like, I don't know. I know it did connect.
Well, I mean, the argument's there. I feel like it was a filler movie.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I don't really like the Ant-Man and
the Wasp.
Okay, he got you there.
The scroll stuff to me is really corny. I don't know. I just don't like the whole scroll thing.
See, I don't like the fact that they introduced the Skrulls to do what they did with them now. I thought the introduction of it and then kind of lacing it around the MCU, like in Far From Home and stuff, and then leading up to Secret Invasion was cool. But then,
yeah, I don't mind them in the background, yeah.
But they didn't like stick the landing at all. So I was just like, well, should we have done that in the first place? But I mean, I don't know, man. That's crazy. So I didn't know you felt that way about Captain Marvel. So yeah, I guess the question is, are you watching the Marvels?
Oh, yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah. Okay.
I have no hype for it at all.
All right.
It's
That's
just
fair.
a movie to me.
Maybe you can come back
The
for the
trailer didn't
review.
even sell it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk
I'd love
about
to
it.
do more stuff with you guys. You guys are fucking awesome. and you
we'll
guys are
keep in
honest.
touch,
Like,
bro.
I love that.
We'll keep in
Yeah.
touch. This is gonna be good conversation. We will
Okay.
keep in touch.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But very good. I mean, Captain Marvel then is your number nine. I mean, I can't argue with what he's saying too, because I've heard those arguments as well. She's a very unlikable person. Some people say this was the first movie or one of the first movies to start pushing what Joe was saying, agenda and all that stuff. So there is arguments and valid points that I can hear from that side.
I mean, that's fair. I know everyone has their, opinion and stuff, but that for me, it's never bothered me. Because, I mean, I like Wanda. I like Captain Marvel. I think it does suck that she's probably going to take a backseat in the sequel. And I think this one and Endgame really propped her up to be, like, this powerful being.
I thought she was going to be like
will she go up against,
top three.
Will she go up against, what's her name at some point? I'd like to see that. The chick from Secret Invasion, what's her name?
The Skrull?
Gaia?
The Super Skrull, yeah, Gaia.
Gaia.
The girl from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I totally forgot that
Amelia Clark.
I always forget her name.
Yeah.
Amelia Clark. Yeah. Can I ask you this? You read the comics. Is she supposed to be like Supergirl, like power,
No.
or more like Superman?
I guess
Like
she
a
would.
Yeah,
DC.
she's supposed to be invincible. right?
Well, yeah, she'd be like. I guess she'd be the answer to Supergirl if that was the case. Because if Hyperion is the answer to Superman, then yeah, I guess Captain Marvel would be the
Supergirl.
You vibe with her more because you've read the comics.
No,
less?
the comics do her dirty, bro. In Civil War II,
Really?
she's on this power trip, like
She's a real bitch.
It's not. It's
Sounds
not,
like Brie Larson.
It's not
Sorry.
It's not good. I think the movies do her a little bit
better
more justice, and I think that the comic book nerds like that do read her and then go see the movie translate that anger. But
Yeah.
to me, I mean, she has in the movies at least she hasn't really given me the thing to rub me the wrong way.
Yeah.
In the comics, she does a lot of shit to like rub me the wrong way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. So you think the movie version does her
A
better?
little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You got to read the comics, Joe.
That's why I figured I'd ask. I like to throw the comic questions.
Oh yeah,
out,
you can.
know.
I mean, you can
He
read
knows
them.
his comic
There's nothing.
shit, so.
There's nothing bad in them. I would say if you really want an unbiased look, stay away from Civil War II because that's where she's the biggest menace of them all. But other than that, I mean, she has good comics. She's part of the Avengers in the comics right now. So
Speaking of that, will there be another Civil War? Because I feel like they could revisit that at some point.
I'm pretty sure. Eventually.
I don't think so.
Now that the X-Men
Like with
are
the new
back under
Avengers?
the fold.
Maybe?
I don't know. The Accords kind of went null and void. So in She-Hulk, they were like, it doesn't matter anymore.
But they're starting to make like more X-Men comics and more Fantastic Four comics and all that. So I'm pretty sure they're going to want to incorporate them in the Civil War.
Maybe.
So
Yeah, I just thought it'd be cool to bring that concept back again.
Well, yeah.
the
I guess
newer
with
Avengers.
everybody in their umbrella and playing the role they're supposed to. Because, I mean, Punisher was on Captain's side. Spider-Man eventually changed to Cap's side. But he started on Iron Man's. The Fantastic Four were Cap's side. So, I mean, there's... Oh, wait, no. The Fantastic Four was on Iron Man's side because, I mean, they already don't have secret identities.
exactly.
So, I mean,
I didn't know all those were
surprisingly
involved.
on his side.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, the comics are interesting. I've read a few of them. I'm not the comics expert like him. I could tell you brief stuff, but yeah. So is it my turn?
Yes,
Am I-
number 9.
My number 9.
You're number 9.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So my number 9. Maybe this is going to show some similarities between us. Is Age of Ultron? Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Okay.
I never had a problem with this movie. I know a lot of people said like. No, honestly, I never even looked on the other side or where the gripes were with this movie. Would you know?
The gripes mainly come from, like, I guess not balancing story, not to do and then the whole Hulk and Natasha Romanoff stuff, which I only have a problem with because they don't follow that up.
Yeah.
Like in the other movies.
Yeah.
I know that's something Joss Whedon probably incorporated like last minute or whatever before the Russos came in and touched it. But that's about it. Like that. Those are the only gripes that I know of.
Okay, because I personally like that. I like the whole Natasha and Hulk thing. I thought they were tearing that up since the first Avengers. To be honest, with obviously what happened with the Hulk and her, and him kind of being a little bit more softer with her and all that stuff, and her with him. So I thought they were kind of teeing that up, and that we're gonna see some kind of culmination by the end of what was it, Infinity War, or fucking like I thought he was gonna be upset that she was gone type shit, like hurt, basically, hurt her, like devastated.
Yeah, and
they just kind of like threw that shit away. So I was like, whatever. But at least for that movie, I liked it. It worked. I liked. I can acknowledge Whedon's a piece of shit too, but it's just more. Everything else about that movie speaks to me. Hawkeye, I thought he was a total badass in this movie. I liked the reveal of his family. I liked how they started sowing the seeds between Iron Man and Captain America in that one.
The Hulkbuster fight, how could I forget about that, bro?
The Hulkbuster fight is crazy. Till this day, bro, I used to watch that fight on repeat, like on YouTube and stuff. Yeah. I would always just want to watch it because that shit was crazy. And then eventually when I got the film, I just...
Really good CGI in that, too.
Exactly. But some of the best CGI in that one.
It's crazy how there's better CGI movies like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Than there is now. Like,
Well, hopefully it's going to start getting better with the unionization that's going to be happening. But,
oh, God.
I mean... Any gripes with my list so far?
No.
I've been nailing it.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
What about you?
I can't argue with Avengers any Avengers movie in the top 10.
See, I'm doing so good, guys. See, I might be the definitive.
I'm not doing very good, but
fucks with me, bro. Fucks with me. Nobody can point a finger. What's going on? All right, so let's go, Joe. What is your number 8, bro?
To me, this is the most underrated Marvel movie, and all I have to say is Mads Mikkelsen. So, Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Love this fucking movie. It's so underrated to me. Nobody talks about it.
The first and second one back to back.
Yeah.
I love Doctor Strange. I love his character. But, I feel like it's a very intricate movie. I love the beginning crash scene. I love his arc in this. I just felt like it sowed the seeds for phase 3 and phase 4, because Doctor Strange is so important to the franchise. He's just very important. We saw that in Endgame and Infinity War.
Fair enough.
He's a super important character.
I would say that's fair.
Without him, Endgame wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, okay.
To be fair, if he did his fucking job in Endgame and Infinity War, he would have been somewhere else.
Stick it down the garbage disposal.
I mean, but he kind of made up for it,
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man happened.
He's alive, but Iron Man isn't. That's just me.
That was
the plan all along.
About the most brutal scene in film history, the Iron Man scene.
Yeah, so I
bawled my fucking eyes out.
I like the movie for what it is. It's just, I felt like it was just another origin story. I feel like this was the first MCU repeatery that we seen, where people were like, oh, they try to do the formula, because it was very similar to the Iron Man story. And I enjoy the Iron Man story, the very first one. And it kind of plays a little too similar throughout the film. I do like the magic stuff. That's why I wouldn't say it's bottom of the list or anything. I do enjoy Doctor Strange. I like the mystical side. That fucking scene where he trips out, bro. I went in there off the Zaw, and that shit was insane. I was like, what's going on? It was a good time. I watched it sober first, and then I went in there and I was like, what the hell is happening? I can acknowledge it's a badass movie. I really do like it, but for me, that one's just, it wouldn't have made top 10 for me.
Okay. Interesting.
I like both Doctor Stranges because they're dark too. Like the dark aspect to it.
That's true too.
Dark magic. I love Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen,
I thought he was awesome.
Hard. I was hoping he was going to come back for the sequel. I was kind of upset when he didn't.
Yeah. That scene where Doctor Strange is contorting him with the magic. Yeah. That's pretty badass scene too.
No real grapes. I mean, I think having both of them back to back, kind of low at the back end. It says a bit, but no real gripes, I guess. It's a solid pick for top 10.
Okay.
All
right.
I think having them low is kind of crazy.
Oh, okay.
That's about it.
All right.
You have them higher than on the list?
I'm seeing a little that Josh is giving a little tease over here. It's okay. What's your number 8?
Top 10.
My number 8, The Incredible Hulk.
Holy damn!
I forgot that was actually part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. You start scribbling it out.
I mean, technically, Marvel made it canon, so with the What If series. So,
Can I ask something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
What does canon mean exactly?
Canon is what Marvel basically is going to go by. That's sacred timeline, if you will. They're basically going to make sure that that's what the steady stream. Kinda? Yeah. So, like, you know how they changed from Iron Man, Terrence Howard as War Machine to Don Cheadle? Yeah. They have yet to explain that change, but they decided decided to do that with Mark Ruffalo in the What If series, and decided to show universe where that same scene happened in the field, but it was just with Mark Ruffalo's character. So they basically said, like, the MCU has a universe where that happened, where Mark Ruffalo is the actual Hulk. So it made it canon to what the MCU has. So whenever the MCU decides to retcon something, that means that they made something not non-canon anymore that we believed was supposed to be canon with their universe, because now that they have a universe, there's supposed to be rules and etc. that they live by.
Okay. Yeah, I was never sure about that.
Like the kid in Iron Man 2, where they said that the kid in Iron Man 2 that Iron Man saves, they said that was supposed to be Peter Parker. They made that canon.
Oh yeah. That was one thing.
See, I didn't know that. I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's supposed to be like a thing. So, and that usually happens when, like, people theorize and speculate off, you've seen those videos on YouTube on like new rock stars and
I love new rock stars.
Yeah. So you know how, like, they break it down and be like, oh yeah, they threw it back to this time and they said that this character is supposed to be connected to this character, blah blah blah. They do theories. Well, Marvel and a lot of franchises like to please the fans by making them canon for, like, the universe and stuff like that. So it's good.
Yeah, I always hear that with Star Wars. A lot, the canon.
Oh man,
we should do a Star Wars list. I would love that.
Oh man,
yeah,
I have some bangers up there. You'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, me and Josh have been not doing that one just yet. I don't think that our brothership would survive it because he's very passionate about certain movies that if I get too honest about it, we might have to call 911. So it's a big deal. But maybe for May 4th, we might see if the gloves come on.
Okay, well, back to the Incredible Hulk. I actually really like this one. It's a classic to me. I know people sweep it under the rug. Obviously, I mean, he just said he forgot about it. But for me, like, I've never forgotten about this movie. To me, Edward Norton and this version of the Hulk is so much better than Mark Ruffalo's version of the Hulk. I know they're supposed to be the same person technically, but there's a clear difference in vision and things like that. While I can admit it is kind of slow, this is the first time we've seen the Hulk in 5 years since the 2003 one, other than cartoons and stuff. I really feel like they got it right by rehashing the story and then making Bruce Banner and Edward Norton's Bruce Banner, like, struggle with the Hulk and things like that. I wish we would have seen more Hulk. When we did see him, he was kicking ass. Obviously, the college scene is so, like, iconic. You were just talking about it, and then him fighting the Abomination, also iconic. I feel like this one should be a part of the conversation.
The non-She-Hulk Abomination.
Yeah. Not Scar or anything like that.
That Abomination now is kind of insane. It's crazy the difference that the MCU makes on these people. Do you like the new Abomination look within the MCU?
I mean, other than that, it looks comic accurate. I could have done without it.
Okay.
It just looks more comic accurate.
I'm not really
it was
a fan
kinda,
of the guilt or the fins on the ears.
That's why it was kind of crazy that this is the first She-Hulk and I guess Shang-Chi were the first times we've seen them since the '08 Hulk. But
they just made him a goofball.
But yeah, and then they basically turned him into a goofball. But I mean, other than that, he just looks comic accurate, and that doesn't really change anything for me.
Okay, all right. You know what? That's fair. And you know, I can't even like he said, who, the Incredible what? He's not relevant here, but I will admit it is a fun story. I like the movie. I like revisiting it. The CGI is amazing in that movie. Hulk's great in that movie. Edward Norton's great in that movie. It's just, I guess in the overall scheme of things, it just doesn't matter anymore. Fucking Norton, what the fuck, bro? You just had to nail the role.
Bring him back.
Yeah, honestly, all he had to do was nail the role. I would say too, I wish that they kept Norton. Bruce Banner, I liked him when he was younger. He just seems like he's just getting old now. So it's like, you know, but Norton would have still made like a good Hulk if he was like working out and shit like that. Like, I don't know. I just Norton would have been better for me.
This is just my thing about the MCU Hulk in general. I feel like we got a lot of character progression in that movie alone, and then by the time we see him in Avengers, they regress him so much, and it's like he beats around like a gorilla. I don't really fuck with that. In Age of Ultron, they're giving him a love interest that I didn't really fuck with either, and he still beat around a gorilla. In Ragnarok, we get some development, but I really hate how goofy he is. And then we don't even see him in Infinity War.
He wasn't even goofy like that.
We didn't see
He wasn't even goofy like that.
We didn't see him in Infinity War at all because of Ragnarok. And then in Endgame,
I didn't like how they sidelined him in Infinity War.
Yeah, in Endgame, we get Smart Hulk. 5 years of, I guess, brain merging that we missed between the two to get the best of both worlds.
There was a snap, guy.
He didn't even.
They snapped. His finger snapped.
He didn't even get his ass.
You didn't see the crisis that happened.
He didn't even get a rematch against Thanos or nothing.
No, that I was robbed for that one.
And then all of a sudden now he has a kid. I feel like we missed a lot of development between '08 Hulk and that Hulk.
Wait, Hulk has a kid?
Yeah, you didn't finish She-Hulk. Spoiler for She-Hulk.
Sleeping? Oh, okay. Well, I'm not gonna watch it anyway. So
okay. Well, yeah, they confirmed in She-Hulk that he has a kid.
Yeah, he's on child support and shit.
Maybe his kid will be Ed Norton, and we'll be lucky.
Yeah, you missed it. He's on child support. She-Hulk's still shaking ass with Megan Thee Stallion. It's crazy.
Yeah, I have no gripes on it. It was Hulk before he lost his balls. I mean,
basically.
Damn. Not
trimmed his balls.
They neutered Hulk.
Not the Hulk nuts. Like when they cut him off, did they just go back to Banner's nuts?
They mailed him to Scarlett Johansson.
Damn.
But yeah, my number 8, The Incredible Hulk. What's your number 8?
All right, my number 8 is Homecoming.
Ew. What the fuck?
It's Homecoming.
Gross.
It's Homecoming. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
One of the best Spider-Man stories put on screen. 100%. Vulture, Michael Keaton as Vulture. Chef's kiss.
I'll give you Vulture.
The chef's kiss. Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I get it. He's young and all that stuff, but I genuinely enjoy him in and out of the suit. He has some kind of energy to him. I will say that they kind of need I hope they don't like regress him when they bring him back and they just keep up with the more mature, because now that they kind of progressed him to that point, I don't want to lose that. But at least for the movie, I thought it was fun. I liked that he was your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He fought when he needed to fight. The ferry scene was great. Iron Man being in the movie makes it a plus for me. RDJ got a fat ass check out of that shit. And yeah, man, by the end of it, I liked it. The airplane scene, Michael Keaton scenes were intense. I like how they introduced the Shocker, but fucking just disposed of him. This is what I mean, where I always thought like superhero movies were gonna like start introducing like their dumb villains to basically have them in the beginning have something to do, so they don't have to waste time on like dumb exposition and shit.
Yeah.
They could just be like, "Oh, he's out here catching these bad guys. This is him getting the shocker once again. He got out of jail. Oh, whatever." But no movie fucking does that, bro. And I was hoping that this movie was gonna set that up. But other than that, I really enjoyed this movie. It's great.
Interesting.
Except for the cutscene. Fuck you, Marvel. You fucking tricked me in the theater that one day. I still remember. You little bitches.
Human.
Still mad about it. No, anybody? What? Josh?
Man.
Come on. The ending where like he's looking in the puddle and his mask in the face. Come on. You can't say that wasn't good, bro.
There's only a few scenes where it makes it fine, but the rest of the movie is kind of I can't.
And you just a hater, bro. That's crazy.
Vulture, I'll give you Vulture. Keaton
Okay.
killed it as Vulture. He does Vulture so much better than he does Batman.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And like that's about it. I mean, it's top 10 is crazy. And not even like
Damn, my first L of the list.
Like not even like
I feel the
I
pressure.
guess it's bottom tier 10. But damn, that's insane.
Yeah, it's not top 5 yet. I would never put it top 5. But
You also don't like the Tom Holland Spider-Man, right?
No,
Like the trilogy.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
I remember that.
He's one of
from
those
listening
far
to your
from
Spider-Man
home
thing.
people.
Yeah.
He's one of those far from home people.
Yeah.
What about you? What? Any gripes with my pick?
I love Tom Holland. I think it's the worst of the trilogy. But it's still a good movie. I like Vulture. The story was so-so. It just, I don't know. It just didn't feel like it fit into the MCU.
Damn. No?
It felt too tame. I don't like his back and forth. Should I be a hero? Should I not be a hero? I don't know.
The whole reluctance. He's a kid, man. He's a
there's
kid. He doesn't know what he's
There's
doing.
not a lot of
Nah,
memorable
man.
scenes in it for
He's
me.
a child.
Nah, man.
He's a child.
Like
bro.
most movies, you have like a memorable scene in the MCU,
Uh-huh.
but I don't have one for that. Maybe the ATM fight. That's about it.
The fairy
I think
scene.
that was in.
The
Was that in
fairy
Homecoming?
scene. The fairy
Was
scene.
the ATM scene?
The fairy scene.
The scene where he gets saved by Iron
Come on,
Man.
don't call Tom Holland a fairy. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn.
He did do Umbrella.
Yeah,
on that
he
one.
did.
Is that the ATM scene? Is that Homecoming? Where
Yeah,
he fights
it
like
is.
the
yeah,
Avengers?
where he's
Yeah,
like,
okay.
I've never
I like
met
that
the
scene.
other Avengers before. Or whatever
Yeah.
That scene
he
was
says.
funny.
That
I
was
liked it.
good. That was Spider-Man being his playful self.
Yeah, I like that little Easter egg scene.
He almost
Yeah.
got someone killed, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a gripe with it.
Hey,
I mean,
man.
Tom
Who's your
Holland's
favorite
awesome.
superhero, bro?
My favorite superhero?
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Wait, we going with this?
What are you? What
I don't know. He's on my neck
Oh,
right
you
now.
know what?
Are we talking
Tobey
MCU?
Maguire's
Or are we
Spider-Man almost
talking
killed that whole
DC?
train. Fuck out of here.
What do
I
you
win.
mean? He
I won.
saved that whole fucking train.
He almost killed them all.
How? He saved
He
that
was
fucking
fighting
train.
Dr. Octopus on the fucking train, bro.
Not
He almost
only
killed
did
them all.
he, not only
Why
did
didn't
he
he take
save
him
the
somewhere
train,
else?
he saved the train, and as Dr. Octopus was throwing him out of windows, he saved those people too. Get out of my face. Put his own neck on the line to save those motherfuckers.
You know what? He was selfish as fuck in Spider-Man 2 because that dude was getting mugged. He didn't do anything about it.
He didn't have his he didn't have his
I
powers,
don't give
man.
a shit. I
What
don't
was he
give a
supposed to do?
shit.
You talking about
He
Tobey
has to be
Maguire?
with him.
Spider-Man would have done it.
Tobey
Spider-Man
Maguire
would have done it. He would have got his powers
Oh, he
back.
wasn't Spider-Man. He was Peter Parker. He's just a wimp.
It's not the same dude.
It's like you don't expect Bruce Wayne to fight. You expect Batman to fight. Bruce Wayne's gonna act like a scared bitch.
No, Bruce Wayne's gonna kick some ass, bro.
Maybe
Nah,
Bruce
he's
Wayne was a
gonna
better
toss some
example.
money at him and be like, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. See? Exactly.
Anyway.
I'm just saying, don't fucking come at Tom Holland like that. But with that being said, Joe, come on, man. I need to know what your number 7 is, man.
Oh,
We're
you don't
getting
wanna
to the
know.
meat of
You
shit.
gotta- Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
You like Aquafina?
I like all water. Toilet water, Aquafina, don't matter. But the reasons I like this, great soundtrack,
Okay. I
perfect
can't lie
amount of
about that.
comedy. I love Katie Chen's character. She's hysterical. Naturally funny too.
Mhm.
I just like them two together. I like the backstory. I like the story. I don't know. It just felt different. Heavy kung fu aspect on it. I loved it. I felt like if Bruce Lee made a fucking a superhero movie.
for me,
That's what it felt like.
I don't know if Shang-Chi is a top 10, only because it has good action scenes, but I feel like that's the only thing it has going for it.
No, the story was really good too. I honestly, I would say that Shang-Chi was one of the ones that was fighting for top 10 too. It was clawing at the door. I would have said it would have been top 10 material if we would have had more depth for Shang-Chi. I liked the movie as a whole, like the story and the message and everything, even the fight scenes. It's just, it seemed like the focus wasn't 100% on him.
It was about the parents' dynamic.
Exactly.
And I like the bad guy. That's about it.
Can I ask
Shang-Chi-
something?
What happened? What?
What are they gonna do with Shang-Chi?
Who the fuck knows?
Are they doing? Is he going to be an Avenger? Is he gonna be a new Avenger?
Nobody's saying the list just yet. I don't think he was gonna be made an Avenger, but I think that he was gonna be part of like, what is it called? Like part of whatever the Young Avengers are doing.
Okay.
Like, because it seemed like they were gonna tee up Young Avengers, so I was assuming that Shang-Chi was gonna be like their chaperone at one point. You know how they usually have like
sequel or anything.
Sequel. It's still supposedly it's in development, but at the same time, it's been put on pause because they don't know whether or not people want to see him again because of the online controversy he decides to stir up when somebody says
I didn't
something.
know that. Yeah.
When somebody says something about his movie, he likes to really speak up about it for some reason.
So he's kind of like the Shazam guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's exactly what.
Okay.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
So. And that one, the next appearance that we heard he was supposed to be in was Kang Dynasty. That was like his very next appearance that we were supposed to hear that he was in. But that's too far out. That was my thing with Shang-Chi is that first we didn't get too much development for him. And next you want us to care about him, but we're not going to even see him for years to come. Like that didn't make any sense.
I know. And they set up something weird in his little... Well, in his
cutscene,
in his end credit scene,
that his sister was supposed to be rising to power.
Well, yeah, his sister was rising to power, and they said that his rings are like transmit like some sort of signal or whatever.
That's playing into the Marvels.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna be. That's why the bracelets on Kamala are doing weird shit too. And if you see in the trailers that the villain winds up getting them at one point. So
yeah, but not the rings. It's the bangles that she wears.
Yeah. But the rings are connected to the bangles.
Fire.
They're gonna make a connection.
The Marvels, great. Oh,
they're gonna have all the.
There goes Shang-Chi.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't. Shang-Chi is cool though. I do like the action scenes, 100%.
Yeah.
And it is funny. I do like Awkwafina. I like her as. I don't really like her voice. I really found it unbearable in like the Little Mermaid as like Scuttle, but like seeing her in Shang-Chi and like other stuff, I really enjoy her.
She's like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess that's fair. I can see what you mean, but it ain't my cup of tea.
100%. I feel that too. But what is your number 7, Josh? Come on,
Number 7 is Doctor Strange.
Okay. All right.
I enjoy this one.
Awesome.
I like the magic, obviously, the fight scenes, everything like that. I like Benedict Cumberbatch. I feel like he was a long time coming. He's one of the A-listers that I feel that should have been in the game a lot sooner, like way before Chris Pratt or any of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he does really good, and I see what you mean with the correlation now that you brought it up between Iron Man and him. But I really feel like it humbles him a lot more because it's a profession thing. You know what I mean? He was a cocky doctor. He had the best hands in the business, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And then,
pause.
And then he loses them, and he's still arrogant and pissed about it. He's like, what happens when he wakes up and they're like, they did the best they could. No one could have done better. And he's like, I could have done better. So on and so forth. So he tries to live with that. The journey he goes on with the magic. I like the little conversation he has with the Ancient One. The only thing I don't like is Dormammu. That's like the only thing. I hate how he's just a floating head.
Yeah, but I feel like Marvel had an issue with that shit. Villain problems are big, and I was assuming that was just supposed to be like his introduction, and we're gonna see more of him in Doctor Strange 2. But again, they just kind of threw him away. I thought they were gonna do something.
Like, I was expecting.
I actually liked his face though. I thought it was cool.
I was expecting like the actual like flaming head that we usually get.
Yeah,
but we didn't get that, and I was like, that's like my only gripe with it. But other than that, I think it's a really good movie.
Yeah, I like the whole reverse scene at the end too.
Like, I've come to bargain.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's my number 7.
yeah. I no arguments. You heard what I basically said about when Joe brought it up for his. It's just too similar, just way too similar for me. But it's if you guys enjoy it, that shit's pretty cool. What about you, Joe? What do you think about that one?
I just feel like that film is underrated.
So you feel how I feel about like the Incredible Hulk?
Yeah, definitely
Okay,
underrated.
that's
Nobody talks about that first Doctor Strange movie.
Nah, honestly.
His character is so important. Like I said,
I feel like Multiverse of Madness did a big number on him only because it overshadowed him, and at the same time, it propped up
it's
Wanda.
Not really right, it's not
Basically.
really a Doctor Strange movie. Like it's not.
Yeah.
It should have just been her movie.
All right, then. What is your number 7?
This is where the meat gets juicy. My number. Did you hear how I said that?
So I
That
don't know.
sounded intense, bro. That shit
Kinda
was
pornish.
Oh, damn. Pause. But my number 7 is Thor Ragnarok.
Fuck.
I gotta give it to yeah, man. I love Thor in the first one. The second one, it dropped the ball. But this one, I felt it encapsulated him perfectly. Not only did he have the comedy aspect, but that they were trying to like sprinkle in since the first Thor because they thought he was too serious. And I can agree. I think there should have been, as him coming to Earth, there should be a little bit more nuance on the new things that he learns. And since he is a cocky guy, he needs to be, just somebody who is arrogant about it, but also tough when he needs to be tough. And I feel like Ragnarok really balanced that out. Plus the fight scene between Hulk and Thor. I really like the development they gave to Hulk as well in this movie. Even though for a second they made him into a baby, which for the context of the movie, I can understand as well because he was basically made a king there, and that was his whole life since he's left the planet since Age of Ultron. So I kind of felt like it gave Hulk that much needed like character arc from that movie to this movie. I like the whole Odin scene in the beginning. Hela as the villain was pretty great too. The ending where Ragnarok actually smashes everything was crazy. The dragon scene in the beginning was funny. I like the chain scene where he's just like, "Oh, I'm coming back around."
Yeah,
just wait for me. I'm coming. It's like, I don't know. I really like the movie. That movie, I would have to say, they found the right spot, and then they fucked it up in the next one for me. So,
yeah.
But Ragnarok has to be my number 7, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? What do you?
Not a top 10. I don't think that's a top 10. Obviously,
can you agree?
I've said my gripes with it before. I just don't like Hulk. I really feel Thor peaks after this movie. The only thing I can really give you, and I can remember very like vividly about, is Loki and Thor's relationship in this movie. Like, I need them to make another movie highlighting them again.
Yeah.
Because I feel like after all the turmoil that they went through in the first and second one, this is where it takes that turn to show that they actually do care for each other and things like that. And then, in the next one he dies.
Yeah.
But that's like the only aspect of this movie that I enjoy.
Yeah. I enjoyed that aspect too. The whole brothership thing too. It was very good. What about you, Joe? You got any gripes for me?
I love this movie, so no gripes for me.
No. See, I'm telling you, I'm
perfect
solid.
amount of comedy, perfect amount of action, great CGI, great acting. I just love it.
100%.
Like you said, the fight scene. I'll throw another scene in there. The bridge scene. The bridge scene is amazing. When Led Zeppelin kicks on.
I was gonna say I could have done without the music. I thought it was a tad too much, but I do fucks with it. And when I watched it in theaters, I did fucks with it. But then after watching it a couple times, I was like, okay, the music could be just a little over the top, but I get it. Taika was trying to go big with it, and at least it did what it needed to do when I first watched it, and it really like drew me in. So yeah, it was pretty badass. 100%.
I really love the Hulk falling from the plane scene too. He's like, watch this.
Oh yeah, that shit was so funny. Oh my god, the whole theater busted up when that happened. I was
love that
like,
part.
damn.
Love it.
I was like, he would have died, but Hulk doesn't.
I think
die.
that's Taka's best movie, honestly.
Yeah, 100%. He wrote a banger, but Josh will never agree to that.
It's not good.
He won't agree because he has personal biases against this man.
Taika? No.
Yeah. He has a problem with him. Like he kidnapped his
did you
dog.
like Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds or no?
Free Guy was good.
Yeah.
It was alright.
Taika didn't direct that one.
Yeah, I thought he did.
No, that was Sean Levy.
Yeah, Sean Levy.
Oh, I thought it was him because you acted in it too. Oh, okay.
He was probably he was in it, but
yeah,
he didn't direct it.
Yeah, I thought he did.
No, that was Sean
Okay.
Levy. Yeah,
I was wrong. Okay, so I can't put that in his
No, not in his
No.
filmography.
Okay,
No.
so
He played a decent.
I thought he was. Yeah.
I liked him in that role in Fall Guy too. I don't have any personal beef with him besides the fact that he fucked up Love and Thunder. That movie to me, I thought was gonna follow up what he did with Ragnarok, and he just fucking broke my heart.
Yeah, he went too deep.
I never
guess.
wanted to be like, because I still respect him. He is an Academy Award winner and all that stuff. I do respect his work.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, he made one bad movie, but he really did let me down with that movie. I don't know if that was Marvel's meddling, like what they did with Doctor Strange, Mom, but this one is like. This one was just atrocious. I was just like, how the hell did you guys drop the ball so hard? That shit really did hurt for me.
You're talking Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really dumb. But
Christian Bale is the only redeeming thing. I mean, he played an awesome bad guy.
I would say in the beginning, I think the very beginning when he actually kills the god and everything like that.
Yeah, that was badass. Yeah.
But after that, like we hardly even see him, and I'm just like, well, why'd you even get this big actor if you're not gonna show off like how villainous he could be? Because
especially Bale.
Yeah, he was fucking psycho. For fuck's sake,
Bale
man.
could do anything.
That's why they got a really good actor. Probably paid him a fat check and then
fumbled him.
Didn't use him.
Yeah. Fumbled him. Doesn't make any sense. But we're almost there to the midway, guys. We're on number 6. I need to know, Joe, what your number 6 is.
Captain America: First Avenger. I'll start off by saying I love
holy
the setting
shit!
of World War II. I love the setting of World War II. I thought it was fucking hilarious to see Chris Evans as a scrawny little kid, but like his grown-up head on like this little fucking body.
There's the comedy. I was about to say that movie has hardly no comedy. That's crazy.
That part though was funny.
But if
though.
that makes you chuckle, that's funny as fuck.
So many people say that Iron Man was the reason the MCU grew to what it did, but this was a big part of it too. Like casting Chris Evans, nobody expected that. He fucking knocked it out of the park. Red Skull was a great villain. I loved Red Skull. He didn't get enough screen time either, but yeah, I love this movie. I love the old World War II setting too.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah,
I mean, most people would say that this was kind of boring. I mean, it's fine for me. I wouldn't say it's neither here nor there, but I hear a lot of people think it's just boring.
Yeah, it's slow. It is, but I like slow burn sometimes. So
I will. Yeah, I like that too. I could watch that movie for that. I don't know if like how Josh is saying, maybe not top 10. I'm not sure where that one would land, but it is honestly a classic. I love watching it because I like that coming from. I don't know what it is, but that movie is just on a different plane all in itself. By the end of it, like that whole realization, and you see New York all over the place, and Samuel L. Jackson
awesome.
comes out and he greets him and everything. That should just set the tone so great for the MCU. Like, even though it does have its pacing problems where it's just a little slow, I see that movie as a fucking gem. And it's just one of those that it's one of my personal favorites, but I would never put it on one of the lists as one of the better movies, only because it gets boring at times.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. But other than that, that movie is great, and I really don't have a gripe that you put it at that spot, because I know that movie can give people that little bright spot within the MCU.
I mean, and it gave iconic scenes. Obviously, Bucky's death when he jumps on the grenade.
Yeah,
like it does a great thing at highlighting Steve's character.
I'm with you to the end.
It just sometimes
in their relationship, yeah.
That slow burn just isn't for some people, and I guess in this instance, it's not for me.
Yeah,
It didn't feel like a superhero movie until the end.
No, it felt like a good drama, like a
Yeah.
good like
This was also in the beginning.
war
Was
movie.
it the third film? Second or third, right?
I like the
As
scene.
MCU.
I like the scene where he's trying to pick out a shield, and then Peggy's like, "What about that one?" And then she shoots him because he kissed another girl. He's like, "This will do."
And there was a lot of cringe when he's performing on stage.
Oh, yeah.
like a stage actor. There was a lot of cringe in it.
He's a fucking actor.
Yeah. I see that.
There's definitely cringe, but I don't know. I just like it.
Yeah, can't even argue
Like I
with
said,
that
the
one.
World War II.
I could see it being top 10 for sure, but not top 5. I could see where you're coming from, and I respect you for that one.
Joe, did you see the What If series?
Oh yeah, I love it.
What do you think about what's her name?
Peggy Carter.
Yeah, Captain Carter.
It was cool. If we could talk about Captain America, I thought Bucky would have been a better replacement for Cap, but that's neither here or there.
That's
but,
a what if story I want explored though.
yeah.
I was hoping it was going to be Bucky too. I didn't like
Bucky
that they
was
passed
perfect
it.
for that.
Yeah, I don't know why they gave it a
Should
Falcon.
have just kept Falcon. He was great as Falcon.
Yeah, that's what I thought so too. I would have preferred Bucky. I thought they had more of a dynamic
That's
that
why I
would have
didn't like the
happened.
show either.
Damn, that's why.
Yeah, no, I really because
The fight scenes were pretty sick too. I like that they're giving Bucky that white wolf thing, but I would have preferred him as Captain America. They should have probably done that.
Yeah, especially at the end of Endgame. Like, I felt like it would have been perfect.
Yep.
Something like that, yeah. But anyway.
Or him not get old, or him not be old. Yeah,
True.
That too. That's another thing too. They just kind of like
because they basically killed him without killing him. Like
Yeah. I know people were like, he's still alive. I'm like, no, I'm sure he's dead.
yeah, was he be 98?
that boy was an old man.
Yeah,
5 years later, dude. No, that's not happening. What are they gonna do? Just call him? Hey, Rogers, we need you.
be the first wheelchair get superhero.
No.
Oh no, he wouldn't be because of X-Men. Yeah.
Very good. What a solid first half for you. I 100%. We'll get to that right now.
Yeah.
But Josh, go ahead. What's your number 6?
My number 6 is Ant-Man, the first one. I really enjoyed this one as an origin story for Scott. Obviously, Michael Pena is also really funny in this one. I think it sets despite where he goes, this one is a great entry for Scott. I like Hank Pym. I like the actor. The beginning scene where he smashes in that dude's face in the table because he talked about his wife, Janet. I was like, damn, he's a menace. Like, I wish they could have made him. Obviously, he's too old, but I wish they could have made him Ant-Man. But him being Hank was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fights where he's small. I like how a lot of it was just a heist movie almost. And then when he fights the Yellow Jacket, that's a great fight scene.
Yeah.
Like
The Thomas the Train. The
Yeah.
little
That's the one in the
and
bedroom.
it hits him.
The bedroom fight scene.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, that was great.
he's forced to go microscopic, and then he pulls himself out of it because of Cassie. Like, this movie just does a lot, and it's really good. The other two kind of fall off, and maybe it has to do with the drama of them probably taking the script from Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
But like, if that's the case, Edgar Wright had a good idea.
And they should have probably brought him back.
Yeah,
Did you know about that, Joe? That Edgar Wright, you know who what movies he's directed?
No, I'm not sure.
Have you seen Baby
Like I
Driver?
said, I just started watching recently. No, I heard it was good, but never saw it.
Oh, solid movie. Well, Edgar Wright, he was contracted to do he was supposed to do Ant-Man first, but then obviously creative differences with Marvel, they wanted it to be a certain way, he wanted it to be a different way, and because I guess it didn't fit with Marvel's vision, they basically parted ways. But supposedly Marvel still used the ideas that they thought were great and basically put it into the movie, but didn't credit him at all. So
That's fucked up.
yeah, so that's another thing too. But wound up getting a different director altogether, which, like I said, sucks. But I guess in Marvel's business, that shit's gonna be happening.
Yeah.
But Josh, I don't know, man. Ant-Man for me
You didn't like the first one?
No, well, I did. I really did enjoy it. I think this is the one where they really balanced the whole comedy and stuff, but there's just better ones out there for me. I really do enjoy it, though. Ant-Man's a great watch. The Yellow Jacket's great. Hate what they did with him in Quantumanium, but fuck it, that's a different topic for a different day.
The bottom 10.
Yeah, exactly. But this movie did a lot. It was ambitious. I did like the whole Scott just wanting his daughter aspect, doing whatever he can. The Baskin Robbins scenes were hilarious. He's like, Baskin Robbins always finds out. Like, what the
He's
fuck?
like, what do you have that's warm? He's like, buddy, it's ice cream.
He's like, you know what? On your way out, if you want to grab yourselves one of those there ice cream shakes, I won't say anything.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? That whole thing is funny. I like how they alluded to Spider-Man in the little funny skit with Michael Pena.
I really like that how creative they got with the fight scenes too, where he would like go small and then like use momentum and go big. Like it really shows you the physics of it all almost, and like I just really like those kind of aspects because it really shows like there's some science behind it.
Exactly. What about you, Joe? Any gripes on this one?
No, I love Ant-Man as a whole. I love the daughter-father dynamic. Being a father myself, so yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Good amount of comedy
Related.
Paul Rudd.
I like when
I think Michael Pena was in the first one too, right? Was it Michael Pena?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's a great fucking comedian. He really is. Supremely
Hilarious.
underrated.
I like when he fights Falcon. That scene's cool.
I like when he tells stories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the best part of the whole Ant-Man
and
series.
my mom
honestly.
died, but I got the van
Yeah.
though.
Fucking great. It really is.
All right. What's
So
your
yeah, I have no
number?
gripes with it at all. No.
My number 6.
Choice.
Yes.
I got to give it to Captain America: Civil War. And the
That's-
only reason why it didn't make top 5, because this one struggled to get in there. It just got beat out. It had to be the CGI. The CGI. This is where I feel like the CGI started getting fucked up.
Yeah.
Just a little bit there. It's an emotional story. Have read the comics, and I don't care for comic accuracy. That's not something that I was looking for. It was just more. It felt lackluster compared to what they did in the comics, but they made it work for the movie, so I enjoyed that aspect. That whole beef, like I said, with in Age of Ultron, was planted between Tony and Steve, really worked well within Civil War. That I just it's a powerful movie. I thought it was great. Zemo was great. The whole introducing Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther in that movie, it was just the perfect time to do that. The fact that the Russo brothers were able to juggle all that, that scene within the when Iron Man puts his hand on and fucking blocks the bullet, that shit's clean. Scarlett Johansson wailing on Bucky, that shit was intense. The ending with Bucky and Steve and Iron Man, and he's like, well, he killed my mom. Fuck, bro. Fuck, RDJ. You deserve every single dollar that you got, my boy, but they should have never made your head float in there. The introduction of Spider-Man was great. I love Tom Holland Spider-Man. So seeing that dynamic, and let's be honest, his auntie is pretty fine. So
Damn.
Yeah, without a doubt.
yeah.
Without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. Go ahead. What do you guys got for me?
Only gripe I have, it's too low.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too low.
It's the CGI that's what really hurts it for me. It's just, man, this
Is it
is
a
where
specific scene, or is it? the whole movie?
well, there's the floating head at the airport. That's the Iron Man in Iron Man suit. I didn't like that.
Yeah, Tony and Rhodey.
The lighting in some scenes, when they're in the parking structures and stuff like that, it looks like green screen in the background. I do, obviously you can tell where the budget went, and that was to the fight scenes and stuff like that. So it really,
I said the actors too.
so it really did good. But there was just some really questionable CGI that they could have probably, if they would have took the time and fleshed it out a little bit, because at one point that movie was supposed to be the Serpent Society, so they were gonna go a totally different route, and I think during production they changed it up, and it was like on a short time. And this is around the time where production was really picking up for Marvel, and they were like, I think they were making like different scripts for endings just so they can fake out people who were trying to get insight and figure out what was going to happen at the end and what's going to be in the movie and blah, blah, blah. So this is where Marvel really started getting shaky, and that's the only reason why I couldn't put it up on top 5. But it's there. It's there.
Yeah, I would think a lot of people have it in their top 5. I would think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I told you, man, we're a little unorthodox here. I
love it, man. You guys are honest. That's why I love you guys.
Oh my goodness, dude. That's about it though. It's just too low.
Too low?
Yeah.
It's a great flick though. I fucking love it. It's a great movie.
Like I feel like that's the one I always like. That's one of the ones I always come back to.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. In the comics, it's a much grander scale. I already told you the X-Men play a part. The Fantastic Four are there. Obviously, they didn't have that, so they did what they could. Crazy that they did get Black Panther and Spider-Man in it.
Mm-hmm. That was a breaking deal. Fucking Spider-Man within the MCU, that shit was like everywhere by that time.
Yeah, I remember when that trailer came out and he was like under Roos and and he landed, bro. I remember that took the world by storm, dude. And then his movies came out. No, but yeah.
Poor Tom. That's why he drinks so much.
But yeah, I get what you're saying, man.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys not going too hard on me, but yeah, CGI, CGI for me is a big deal.
Yeah,
It really hurts a lot for a movie especially a movie in that grand a scale, Marvel. Like there should be no hiccups, like zero at all. Like if you can get it perfect before this movie, and this movie was made later than other movies, there's really no excuse besides you guys just drop the ball, and that's all I gotta say.
Okay,
so
we're at that halfway mark now.
I got you guys' list here. Don't worry. Josh, everything I can give you except for the Incredible Hulk. That one should have. I gotta say, you should have probably not included that one, only because that's not our Hulk. That's not our Hulk. We've moved on from him.
That's not your Hulk.
You should move on as well.
No.
And Joe, you too.
Shame on you. Maybe when the Hulk gets good.
I don't have Hulk in it. In mine.
No. Oh.
I see what you mean though.
When the Hulk in the MCU gets good, I'll move on. But till then, I
don't like Hulk as a character. I don't know. He just doesn't have redeeming qualities to me.
Oh, like you like nothing.
Like I just don't like his character.
Smash,
bro.
It's like, oh, I'm always angry.
I just want a smash scene with Scarlett Johansson. That's
Zame.
So I'm like,
and well, Joe, on your list, man, Doctor Strange 2 and Ant-Man 2.
Yeah, Ant-Man 2 is puzzling.
Partially Shang-Chi. I don't know, man. I don't know. Those ones were kind of questionable for me for the top 10. But I do see your side. I see the whole comedy aspect that you are incorporating into your list, and I like that. I like that some people enjoy the MCU for that aspect, the comedy aspect. And you saying that really shows me what comedy does for some people. You know what I mean? Like how it draws you into this franchise. Because I always thought, like, who really wants a fucking zinger after, a serious moment? But some people find joy in that. And maybe that's something that I've overlooked with my own personal thing. But I'm glad that the MCU actually does make people laugh and genuinely laugh, because I mean there is some humor injected in there that I personally laugh to too, and some people roast on it, and I'm just like, well, that actually was kind of funny. They actually did a good job with that one.
It gives it more of a human element too.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're not perfect. Like they can actually make a funny every once in a while.
They have faults.
Exactly. What do you think?
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know the comedy in I guess later movies versus in the older movies is a lot more different, if that makes any sense. Yeah. But I can laugh at other things, like in Iron Man 2 when when they're like, "How do you use the bathroom in the suit?" And he goes, just like that, and yeah, no, it's a dumb joke. It's a childish joke,
Yeah,
and I can
so you
laugh
like
at
more
that.
like the subtle comedy.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the older or newer movies kind of just get over like heavy handed with it, and at that point, for me, I'm like, that's not really that funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the goats in Love and Thunder, I wasn't really laughing at that. I was like, oh,
They overdid it.
yeah,
They did it like three times.
That's just, I guess that's just where I draw the line.
I will say that Endgame had it right as far as comedy.
Endgame had good comedy. I
Yeah.
didn't like how Thor was the joke,
The
even
butt of
though
the
he was
joke,
kind of
yeah.
he was in his
Fat Thor.
depression pit. Like yeah, he got all serious at the end and stuff, but they called him the Big Lebowski and all this and that. Like he was made to be a joke.
Yeah, that was one thing for me that we'll probably discuss when we, continue going. I'm pretty sure somebody around here got it there, and we're gonna crack into it. Joe, do you have any gripes with our top, at least our top 6 so far?
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's a big one actually.
That's in my bottom 5, maybe 3. Other than that, no, not really.
No,
I like the honesty. You guys just aren't afraid to put movies in there, Same with me.
What was that?
But yeah, Captain Marvel, like, we're being honest about it, so I'm not gonna knock your guys' picks.
Well, yeah,
it's honesty.
Mm-hmm.
It's all opinion.
Yeah, no, it's not
That's
gonna
what it
be your
comes
cup
down
of tea, and I get that, and I think the bottom ones I always say are bottom of the barrel for a reason. You find a place for them, but I think these top 5 might be a problem.
Yeah, the top 5 is where everything really, I feel everything comes down to a wire. But Captain Marvel's crazy. What about my list? Everything solid or
Homecoming?
Too is low.
I wouldn't have had Homecoming in there.
Oh,
You
Homecoming.
wouldn't have
Don't think it's
Homecoming.
important.
Wouldn't have had Ragnarok. That's about it.
Oh.
You don't think
Yeah, I disagree
Homecoming
with
was
that. But
important?
yeah.
You don't think Homecoming was important to the
It was a
overall
more for
Spidey
Tom
story?
Holland's role. Yeah, I mean, but Spidey, it's Sony. I don't know. Like, to me, it is part of the MCU, obviously, but to me, I like Spidey in Avengers more than anything because he belongs there more.
I was gonna say,
You know what I'm saying? Like, Sony just kind of ruins it for me. Sony just, they don't put it all together with the MCU. I don't know. Just something about Sony. It just doesn't feel like genuine Marvel.
I see what you mean because there is like Morbius and
Damn.
there's some.
I didn't even watch that. I heard so much bad stuff.
There's some movies out there that genuinely feel like a cash grab from Sony, so I can see that from
Venom 2.
from people. Venom 2. Oh, dude, thank you.
That's in my bottom 3.
Oh my god, the wasted
And
potential.
that had comedy
with Carnage.
too.
Yeah,
But it was bad comedy, really bad.
It was so bad.
I guess.
Like that.
Yeah, it was bad. But
It was not bad.
he's not within the MCU, so let me help Josh out and just stir the ship this way before he explodes. But with that, we got to start cracking down on the top 5.
Top 5.
We need to get to the even juicier part of this fucking podcast. It's the top 5. We all know that we kind of have a sense of where things are going. So if anybody has any out of field shit, I'm calling it out right now. I'm just saying it right now. So, Joe, kick us off, man. What is your number 5?
What's your number 5?
Captain America, Winter Soldier. I went back and forth on the placement of this in my top 10. I was close to putting it higher, but in the grand scheme, this movie, I don't think it's a big part of the MCU main storyline, but I just feel like it's a great movie. The introduction of Bucky as Winter Soldier, I love that. I just feel like he was like a badass character in the beginning of this movie. I love it, like the long hair, the mask. He's a really good bad guy at the time, I also love the badass elevator fight scene. One of my favorite MCU scenes, honestly. So yeah, I
Interesting.
feel like it was a great movie. I don't know if it was underrated because a lot of people do love Winter Soldier, I feel like. But I just like Bucky. He was badass in it. Like, that whole original fight scene in the on the highway or whatever. Love that scene.
Okay. Too low. I'll
low?
say that right now.
Yeah.
Too low.
Well,
That's what I meant. I wanted to put it higher. I was
okay.
fighting with that.
I understand. Top 5 is, I always come to the thing of just like, they got to fall in line. I get that.
Yeah.
This one, you put it in the wrong spot. No.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I can see why it made top 5. At least it made top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I'm just gonna jump the gun because we're on the same page. I got to give Captain 2 on my 5 as well. The Winter Soldier is just a great movie. So I just want to agree with him just so we can both maybe gush over it just a little bit. But like, it's great. The action's great. Everything's phenomenal. And I will be honest, it fought with 4 and 5. 4 and 5 basically fought with each other. Ultimately, it landed where it needed to land. But Winter Soldier at least really showed to me that the MCU can keep making movies different. Because, like I said, Captain America 1, though it was boring, it really made a stamp on the MCU. It's a great movie. It's a war movie. It's different. Captain America 2, same thing. It's an espionage movie. It's a fucking spy thriller. That shit was intense. Bucky was great.
Yeah.
I can admit it didn't impact the greater MCU, but it could have. And that's was enough to make me feel that intensity. You know, Hydra being let loose, and then eventually, you know, we find out that it actually is still on the, running rampant. We just don't know. But I honestly believe this movie is everybody's top 5. It has to be. It has to land there. I agree with him 100%. The highway scene is great. The knife fight, the fucking kick-assery. The fact that Scarlett Johansson was pregnant when she did that movie was insane. Yeah, that's
By me. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Damn.
Sorry.
damn it! Yeah, you got
I
a
do,
little,
I'm sorry,
you got
come
a
on.
little baby
You know I'm gonna
ScarJo
add
running
comedy in
around.
here.
What are you doing, my
I'm
boy?
gonna add comedy to that shit. Did you guys see the Bully Maguire version of that fight scene?
No.
Like the edit? Oh my god! YouTube that shit when you get a chance.
Hey, man.
They put
Hey,
Bully Maguire
send
in
a
the,
link, bro. Send a
that
link.
highway fight
So
scene.
dumb.
It's fucking amazing. Yeah, I'll send that over.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So fucking good. It's just
it's-
so funny.
I gotta say. So you know what our 5 is, Josh? What's your number 5?
Captain America Civil War.
Oh shit. Okay, so I'm one above you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess we're kind of in the same boat, kind of. I like what this one does. I like the dynamic between Tony and Steve of just their clashing. Black Panther, obviously. I like Spider-Man's introduction. I don't like where they take him. This is a great starting point for him. I like Bucky's development. I like the relationship he has with Sam starting off in this one. Like, this one does a lot in cementing where they get to be when Infinity War comes around. And I just really like that aspect of dynamic. It has Wanda, it has Ant-Man, it has basically all the players except for Thor, Hulk, because they're fucking off in space. And then obviously the Guardians at this point. But this one does really well, and I just really like this movie.
Who can't? That Stanley cameo? Tony Stank? that 100%. I give it to you. I see the top 5 potential. This just the CGI, man. It's just not there for me. That's you.
And Zemo, oh man, like even those scenes aside, you know what I mean? Because yeah, they are gripes. It's the same gripe I have with Infinity War, seeing Bruce Banner's floating head in the fucking Hulkbuster suit. But for me, it's just like I can look past that because there's a lot of good shit in here. Like Zemo as a villain, the way he broke down the Avengers, and then he was just ready to commit suicide, and Black Panther was just like, no, you don't get to leave that easily. And then he stops him and things like that. I like Black Panther's lesson where he's like, vengeance is consuming them, and I'm done letting it consume me. Like, that line goes hard. And then he saves Zemo, basically.
Yeah.
And then the way Steve leaves Tony, and he's just like, you don't deserve that shield. My father made it. And then he drops it. I'm like, oh, man.
I'm just saying they shouldn't have shown that elder abuse. That shit was fucked up.
That's insane. No.
That shit was just rude.
But yeah.
What about you, Joe? What kind of gripes you got going on over there?
I love the movie, so no gripes. It was the superheroes at their most human aspects, the internal struggle.
I dig it.
Yeah, I love Civil War.
That was another thing too. Like we really needed a scene with all of them discussing it and being like, no, like Rhodey and him, and Falcon both being like military men, and like having that discussion of like yeah, Rhodey's higher in rank or whatever, but he sees it from that perspective, and Sam sees it as a little guy, and he's just like, well, what's gonna happen when they need us and they LoJack us like criminals, like they do to him in the future in the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's such a good dynamic. I can't.
It's a great movie. It's a great scene. I mean, if we're all in agreement with this one, I mean, there's really no gripes.
I'm cooking.
I guess we're gonna be gushing over the MCU in this last half. I guess it is what it is. We'll glaze it up. But you already know my 5, so Joe, go ahead and give us your number 4.
Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok. I had to. I wanted to put it higher, honestly, but like I said before, I didn't really like the first 2 Thors. They were too dark. No comedy at all, honestly, other than him smashing the beer glass. That was the only comedy
More.
I remember. Yeah, that was a great scene. Let's see what else I put here. Like I said earlier, I love when they add comedy. Ragnarok is the perfect example of this. From the beginning with the demon to the very end of this movie, it was a knee slapper. The soundtrack was amazing. The set pieces were fucking beautiful. Love the bridge scene. Love the sister coming back and trying to take over. Yeah, just love it.
Damn.
Well,
Almost had it in my top 3.
not to sound like a
3.5.
broken record, but top 5.
I wouldn't say top
10, let alone top 5 is crazy.
Yeah.
I say top 10, not top 5. We're different. Yeah. We're different on that one. You're a Taika hater. That's the thing. I don't understand why. It's a good movie. You just don't want to admit it. Even in your face, you're just movie. Like, damn. It's a good movie.
It's not a good movie.
But you can't. Well, okay, what's not good about the movie? Hulk's great. If anything, if you didn't give a shit about him, I feel like that movie made you give a shit.
Not really.
No, Joe, what do you think?
What about Hulk?
Yeah.
He doesn't like Hulk.
I mean, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you didn't like him, did that movie at least make you like him?
Yeah, this is Hulk's best movie for me.
That's because he.
At least he's battling. He's not only a scientist in this with glasses. You know what I mean? Like he's actually fighting.
Science or time travel, whatever he says.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's as close to Ed Norton as we could get, right?
The who?
The Collector.
Jeff Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum.
I loved him.
Oh, God.
Oh, no?
No.
That was some Hunger Games shit.
Oh.
Like he looked like he belonged in Hunger Games.
Yeah. But I like the comedy he brought. He was kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, I like Goldblum, but I don't know.
No. I feel this movie doesn't have any redeeming qualities other than Thor and Loki.
Not even the bridge scene?
No.
No? The wolf? The giant wolf?
No.
The ending that sets up Infinity War.
Yeah. And then Infinity War, Hulk gets 2-piece, so it doesn't even like...
Son of a bitch. Why you do this? Why you say those things?
It's not a good movie, man.
No? Fuck.
Like, I don't know. It's just, for me, the comedy was off. Valkyrie was cool. I'll give you Valkyrie.
No, Valkyrie's
she's
awesome
a badass.
too. I didn't touch on that. Yeah. Good point.
She's a badass.
She is.
Like that's what I'm saying. There's not enough badass women to be touching up on, but like the sprinkles that they put in, Valkyrie. I don't know if I vibe with them making her King of Asgard or whatever.
Yeah,
because I know that's not what Odin would have wanted. No. Like he wanted his sons to pick it up, but like Thor just handed it over, and I'm like, well, that's kind of weird.
Well, he was in depression.
Well, yeah. I hope eventually we actually get King Thor, because that'd be fucking sick.
That would be, but we don't know what's going to happen with Thor at this point. I mean, supposedly Thor 5 in the works, but we'll have to wait and see. At least Taika's not coming back, so.
Yeah, no. W.
I mean.
Yeah. W. George W.
Not even the Rock guy? You didn't like the Rock guy?
Bro, I fucking hate Korg.
I will say one gripe is that Valkyrie was able to take down Thor with electricity. I thought that was just kind of stupid. I was like, he's the god of thunder, whatever.
The god of hammers. No.
Better than little kids controlling the electricity. That was Love and Thunder.
That's true.
That ending.
Yeah, that ending was just, what the hell?
Oh, God.
The fuck happened? I don't know. They dropped the ball. They dropped the ball with that one, but Josh, what's your number 4? We know your grievances with Ragnarok already.
Yeah. My number 4 is Multiverse of Madness.
What the? First of all,
wait, you don't get to shit on it first.
Hold on. Okay, yeah. We gotta let him. We gotta go ahead.
Speak his piece.
I like Sam Raimi. You know, I'm a big Sam Raimi fan.
Okay.
Fucking love Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
For the wrong reasons.
I like the little bit of horror aspect that we get. It did kind of make me feel uneasy in the theater. I like he got creative as he could before Kevin Feige's dirty mitts got all over it. So we got some very cool aspects. I liked America Chavez. I liked her little introduction. I wish we could see more of her at some point and not just in the next Avengers movie whenever she decides to show up. I don't enjoy that she overshadowed Doctor Strange, but I do like the adventure Doctor Strange goes on to basically find himself in the love story that he goes on with alternate versions of what's her name? I like that we do see that Dark Strange, which they said was probably the one from What If, but I don't know. It does have shoddy CGI, I'll give you that. But I like what this one does. From Wanda to Strange to Wong. It does a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, no, man. No, I don't even see how that should even made your guys' top 10, let alone top 5. That's a pipe thing. But I want to hear what Joe has to say about that. He was sounding a little hyped.
There's a lot of Raimi Easter eggs in it, which is probably why you love it too. I just loved it. It's dark, not a lot of comedy at all, really. I just like the horror aspect. Like I said, I love comedy and I love horror, so it definitely belongs top 10 to me at least. I can't argue with top 5.
Well, there you go. See.
Bro,
there was some plot holes, obviously.
Even when she climbed out of that little like gong thing or whatever, that shit looked goofy. And even though there was some nice little moments, like the whole little interaction between her and Doctor Strange, it just was overshadowed. Even like that movie that you said it made you feel uneasy. You're easy to scare. That shit's crazy, bro. That doesn't make any sense.
Sam Raimi's
done way
Sam
scarier.
Raimi. That's why his Evil Dead stuff is insane. And the fact that we got a little bit of that in Multiverse of Madness was worth it.
Yeah.
Like when she's taking over,
if a little bit is a quarter portion, I don't want to hear nothing.
When she's taking over the 838 Wanda, and like it gets all dark and shadowy and stuff, and then she faces the camera, like that shit got me. I was like, oh fuck. And then she killed the fucking the Illuminati. I thought that was pretty fucking cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah,
it was great to see
the way she does that Earth's Captain Marvel was insane.
Yeah.
Drops a whole ass.
You're like, this is gonna be a big fight
her.
scene, and all of a sudden she just fucking destroys them like that. Like it was great. It wasn't predictable to me, this movie. I didn't think so.
I wasn't expecting her to turn that man to spaghetti.
Knees weak, arms heavy.
I wasn't expecting fucking Black Bolt to like hit his own brain with his powers.
Yeah, that shit was I will say that shit was insane. I would say that was one of those, like I said, Doctor Strange Mom has like good moments, but I don't think it's a good movie. Like it has some really good moments. Like that whole Illuminati scene, I can't even argue with you guys about that. You guys are bringing up a good point. But
can I ask you guys?
Let's talk about the diner scene.
Yeah. Isn't she supposed to be Magneto's daughter or something like that?
Yeah.
Like
in the comics.
Okay. Is that why she killed the bald dude? Because aren't they enemies in X-Men?
In the MCU,
so
that's
like
not
an Easter egg.
No, I'm assuming it's like an Easter egg. The MCU, the X-Men aren't canon to the MCU because of the fact that they didn't have the rights, the movie rights, so they didn't distinguish that. Supposedly later on they're gonna make that known whenever they introduce the X-Men.
Like
that's
like
a rumor or whatever, but as of right now she's just a girl from Sokovia
I just thought that was interesting.
who was like a mutant. But yeah,
kill
that
him.
I think that was supposed to be like a little nod.
In 838, who knows if that's the case? I know in our own continuity, like in our universe for the MCU, it's not true. But who knows if in 838 that was the case? You know.
Mm.
And Magneto's like, "Holy shit, my daughter killed Charles."
Yeah, like I don't know. I thought that was maybe an Easter egg.
That could be a
after I
fun
heard
little
it.
dynamic to play with.
How fucking sad. How fucking sad for Magneto. I've been trying many years to get that bald fuck. And she does it in 20 seconds.
Is that a comic thing that she's the daughter? Or is
Yeah.
that just
You know,
something
him
they're
and
playing with?
her and
Oh, okay.
Pietro are his kids.
Okay, that's cool though.
Yeah. Just not in the
So you
MCU.
see where she gets her flying powers and all that shit from.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. They're planting the seeds now, but it wasn't like that for a while. But hopefully we get to see it happen.
I'm hoping the X-Men 97 cartoon plays with the idea.
That'd be nice. That'd be cool. But yeah, man. Yeah. So I don't know. I couldn't do it.
We're
But
getting to top 3 soon.
we're getting there. We're getting there. So my number 4 is drumroll. Endgame.
What was that?
Fuck. Fuck. Oh god.
Too low.
Too low?
Oh my
Well,
god.
not too low. Not too low. I should say.
Too low?
Not
top 10 material?
Not 10 material.
No. Oh, bro.
It does a lot. It gives you a lot.
My boy. What are you talking about? It gives you everything. Well, mostly everything.
Why is it that high? Why is it in the top 10?
Okay, well, let me say my piece. Okay, first of all, it's a good culmination of all the movies.
Okay.
I like the tension in the beginning when obviously Tony comes back, everything that happens. I do think they fumbled the bag without for not giving Hulk the rematch that he needed with Thanos. I think that's one of my gripes with the movie. But it's just a monumental movie. By the end of it, I was just such in awe. The only reason why I couldn't put it up higher was because they fumbled the bag on a few things that I, really wanted to see.
Okay.
I wanted to see the Hulk get that rematch. If people were going to be brought back, I was hoping we were going to see that more of an impact and not just be like, oh yeah, no, we're all just here kind of thing. I felt like towards the end they kind of just rushed it to that climax. Though the climax was nice, I kind of felt this one was just supposed to be, all right, let's duplicate the success that we did with Infinity War, and they couldn't do that, so they didn't, and that's why it's where it's at number 4.
Interesting. I don't know. Not top.
Not top 10?
Not top 10.
I'm not cooking here?
No. Matter of fact, you're burning everything. No.
No? What about you, Joe? What do you think?
I get having it lower on top 10, but it has to be there. Best fight scene in MCU history, in my opinion.
The battle?
Avengers Assemble part? Come on.
Oh,
That alone should put it top 10.
The Thor, Captain America, and Tony versus Thanos?
No, the Avengers Assemble.
Oh, okay.
The whole ensemble.
That was just fucking epic. Come on.
That was epic.
That alone, top 10 for that.
Honestly, it has to make top 10. The fact that you're saying that not at all.
I don't know how you could have Captain Marvel.
That's
Maybe
crazy.
top 10, but not top 5.
Like, I don't know. How you
Let
have
alone
Captain
close to
Marvel
top
on
3.
this.
That's insane. That's insane. I would think top.
It does a lot. And it does end everything on a nice note. Time travel is a bitch and a half of a story to tell. And they tried their best. And I can give them the attempt. But when you think about it,
If you think about it, that was the most tamed version of time travel. It wasn't until they expanded on it that they made it complicated.
not really.
Is it that it followed Infinity War for you? Is that like the comparison? You know what I mean? Like Infinity War was so epic
What do you mean?
and it was like constant action, but this was more of a slow burn.
Oh.
Is that what ruined it for you?
No.
Like
Because,
a
I mean,
slow burn?
I can enjoy the slow burn here. For me,
Okay.
it was just a lot of like... just the ending didn't feel satisfying for me. I don't know. I feel like with
Sad
Infinity
as
War...
fuck. Yeah.
Infinity War set up something great, and obviously Endgame had to deliver on the back end, but the Infinity War did the unthinkable, and by then you kind of knew, oh yeah, the second one, the good guys are going to win. How are they going to win? Who knows? But, I mean, we figured that out. And it does get me. I did tear up, obviously, when Tony dies and all this and that. But for me, I don't know. I don't know if top 5 is where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, man. I don't know what you're talking about. It should most definitely be a top 5. It's the culmination of everything. There's no way that it shouldn't be there, but the fact that it's not on you, that shit is telling. It's telling. And no wonder you don't like Ragnarok. Your taste buds are bad.
Fucking, he gets saved by a rat. Like, come on, bro.
Huh?
Scott gets saved by a rat.
That is the greatest save I've ever seen in my life.
No.
What? First of all, out of the box thinking, okay, just a random rat fucking pushes the button. It was great. And he saved the universe. Paul Rudd, of all people.
The man that
I think also, I don't like that they skipped 5 years and we missed a whole lot of development.
What development?
Yeah.
All the heroes were gone.
Hope's development.
What happened on Earth.
Like what happened with the heroes, like Captain Marvel is out there, but they're having communications. Like the Avengers are trying to piece it all together. Like, I would have loved to see that. You got Captain America coming to terms with the world being gone. Like, I would have loved to see him struggle with that. He was gone for most of it. How would he feel now living through it, but with no people around?
Well, didn't he become a therapist?
Yeah, you kind of got a sense.
It's like a little scene.
That was why. But we should have seen more of that. Like, how did he come to term with that?
Well, and that's where I thought that they were planting the seeds for, like, what happens after Endgame. Like, they were going to piece it together. Like, we were going to see Captain America dealing with the backlash and all that stuff. But they just ended it all. And though, like I said, for that movie, it works out. Whatever they did in the back end, I can't really credit that. But at least for the movie itself, it was...
My
it made sense.
My favorite arcs are Thor... Just because I like that he's sad. He let his pride get in the way, so he becomes a sad thing. I don't like that they played him for a joke. But I like that he was, like, really torn about his decision, and then
him with his mom was sad, too.
Yeah. She's just like, you've seen some shit, and he's like, yeah. They're like, yeah, that scene got me. I like the subtle things. Like the beginning with him and Nebula. Tony and Nebula. That was pretty nice. I like Tony's arc where he's just like, look, I will help you, but I got to keep what I got. If we can bring him back, sure. But I want to keep what I have. Because he already had his family at that point.
That's what made it sad, the ending.
Yeah. But, like, I don't know. Top 10, sure. But maybe not top 5.
Not even the Ant-Man baby scene?
Sorry, what?
Not even the Ant-Man baby scene? Where he's in the suit?
Oh, yeah.
Testing him out, sending him back. I thought that was fucking hysterical.
That shit was funny, yeah. The taco scene? When, like, the
taco scene right before that?
Yeah. The landing pad and everything. It's like, there's a dumbass on the runway.
Regular size man, or whatever the fuck he says.
Yeah.
I like Hawkeye's perspective. He's not a superpowered being. He's not an Avenger. He was just minding his own business on house arrest, and his family disappears. I fuck with that.
They should have shown more, like, apocalyptic setting for Earth.
Yeah, I would have thought like half the
population
people
was gone. Yeah,
I thought it
was
would
some
have
Fallout type shit.
To be honest, and them like cleaning it up or some shit like that. Because all those people disappearing, there was people driving. There were gonna be lots of wreckages. I'm sure a lot of damage was gonna be done. They should have showed a rebuild period. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, man, that's why I give it. There.
Interesting. All right, time for top 3.
Yeah, top 3. This is where it gets it. Come on, Joe. What is it, bro?
I have Endgame right there. Like I said, it was a little too low for my liking. 4, so I have it at 3.
Oh, top 3. I don't know about that one, Chief.
Well, it's only one off, right?
Yeah. I guess it's fair. So
I love this movie, but I would have had it higher. But killing off basically Cap, Iron Man, and Black Widow killed me. Like 3 of my favorites. But other than that, I love the like I said, the best fight scene in MCU history with the assemble scene. I love the little subtle comedy, and like I said, it was the saddest movie easily. Bawled my eyes out.
Honestly,
every time I watch it.
honestly, you cannot
so
tell me
sad.
you walked out of that theater, man, and you didn't cry, Josh. You
Well,
can't
yeah,
tell me.
it was sad.
Yeah, it made you
And
feel
knowing
something.
he left his daughter, like, oh man, the Love You 3000, like that hit
Come on,
home as
bro.
a father.
Come on,
That
bro.
shit was-
Come on, bro. Not type. You want to go
But yeah.
rework your list real quick?
No,
No. Oh.
I'm already coming down to the wire.
It was epic, but
It
it was
was.
slow. So I see that.
Yeah.
Well,
And then they picked it up when they needed to pick it up. To be
okay.
honest.
Well, I already gave my 2 cents on it, and you were kind of just giving your 2 cents on it. Can I go?
Yeah. Just go for number 3. I mean, we
My
already know
number
where you
3.
stand.
Infinity War.
Okay.
I
can see that.
But
I
yeah.
like it a lot better than I do Endgame, obviously. I like that it sets everything up. I like the dynamic where it picks up with the Avengers. Tony still isn't talking to Steve. I don't like that that whole gets two-pieced. Loki dying made me cry. I was like, shit, again. I know everyone was like, he's gonna live or whatever. And that wasn't the case this time. Or at the time, we didn't think that was the case. And then Thor got to live. The Guardians, surprisingly, fine in this movie. Like, I think they do fine here instead of their solo outings, I guess.
Yeah.
The dynamic with Tony and Strange, their egos clashing, and they know they both want to do good, but they just can't get on the same page about it because Tony has been dealing with this since 2012, and Doctor Strange's whole thing is just protect the stone, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I like their dynamic and how they clash. I like Thanos and Tony, where he's just like, holy shit, you know me? He's like, of course, I know you. What the fuck? Like, you're not the only smart man in the fucking world or whatever. That's why by the end of Endgame, yeah, I was crying and all that. I left Infinity War crying also. And I was like, it was just more of a shock that like he won, you know?
Yeah.
And it got me, and I was just like, damn. But I think top 3 is where this one should be.
Okay. I can give it to you. I honestly think Infinity War is supposed to be somewhere top 3. I can agree with everything. I think the only downside for that one is the whole Hulk just being sidelined for Infinity War, and that's it. I mean, but other than that, I mean, it's a great movie. It's a great flick. Can't even be mad at the placement. If it was something crazy sideways, then it would have been different. But you're basically going down the typical route, and I appreciate the safe way. The safe way is the best way. What about you, Joe? Any gripes with that one?
No, well, too low, but definitely deserving of what was it? Top 3, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was number 3 for me. All right, then.
A lot of epic scenes.
Too
Thanos was
many.
amazing,
Honestly, that Infinity War has crazy scenes. I will say,
The best CGI of
visually, the
series.
best scene has to be, hands down, has to be that the Thor scene when he's like building his Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's
That's what I'm saying,
Great.
dude. His whole thing for vengeance here is just so great. Like, I like the path that he's on where he's just like, he already lost his brother. He lost an eye. He lost his dad. Like, he was no fucks given at this point. He was ready to kill that motherfucker. But first, he had to let it be known that he was killing that motherfucker.
and he fucked up.
Yeah, he fucked up.
Do we believe it was Pratt or Thor? Was it Star-Lord or Thor who who ruined the universe?
Pratt was the
Pratt first?
Star-Lord was the first line of defense, and Thor
was
just
the spur of the moment.
let his ego go at the line, basically.
All right. Do you agree, Joe?
Yeah, Star-Lord,
Star-Lord?
unfortunately. Because I love Star-Lord, but yeah.
Maybe James Gunn was right. I don't know.
And the scene where fucking Spider-Man disappears or starts like fading away. So
like,
sad.
I think up until that point, I wasn't fucking with him, and then like that made me cry. Where he's just like,
Yeah, that was
I don't feel so
brutal.
good. Yeah, they get me.
You can see him starting to cry too. Like,
Mhm.
man.
Very good. So, my number 3, and probably the only movie in Phase 4 that I could say I liked, deserves this spot, and actually worked for its position, even though how ugly the movie is, I'm willing to look past it for how epic it came out, and that's Spider-Man: No Way Home. That's literally it. I enjoy Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I enjoy the fact that they brought back not one but two iconic Spider-Man. I can acknowledge it's an ugly looking movie, a lot of CGI, all that stuff. I just think that the fact that they went above and beyond for this movie gave us that Doctor Strange aspect with it. I don't like that he was sidelined either. We got to see the villains, or what we will at least see of a Sinister Six until the near future, until whenever Sony decides to get it together and just fucking do it already. But yeah, man, I thought it was one of the better movies to be put out, period, out of Marvel since Endgame. So just the sheer fact that it exists, I gotta give it to third spot. Yeah. Anybody?
Interesting.
Nobody?
Well, I would say it's an honorable mention. I know you probably would have suspected it being on my list somewhere.
It's not.
No,
You are not a Spider-Man fan.
It's an honorable
Not on
mention.
mine either.
Tip that shit over.
It's an honorable mention, and I can give it to you. It just there's a lot more negatives now that I'm not blinded by like all the cool shit. Where I'm like, it can fall apart, but it is an honorable mention.
So not even top 10?
No,
I feel robbed. I feel dirty. What about you, Joe?
Definitely not top 10. Too many loopholes. I mean, why did he like try to rescue them? Like, why? What was the point? When his Aunt May was saying, "Don't do that. It's stupid to do," and he just did it just for the story, like just to bring back the other Spider-Mans and all that shit. Like, I don't know. It was forced.
I wasn't even thinking like that.
Yeah,
It was like, I don't know, half-eaten bag of chips to me. Like, I don't know, just
Damn.
you open your chips and half the bag's full. Like, that's the feeling I got. I don't care about the bringing back the Spider-Man. You know, it was forced. It was big plot hole, huge. I can't ignore it,
fuck.
and it really doesn't fit into the MCU. I mean,
It-
what redeeming quality does it have for the MCU?
I will
Another
say
Sony
the fucked up part that was fumbled was the whole Venom connection. 100% though.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
I mean, the symbiote's there, but at what cost?
Yeah. I understand the gripes, though. I do feel like it was kind of half baked. I do feel like it was not only the only Phase 4 movie that was somewhat enjoyable. I think that the growth within the character that they gave him by the end of the movie, I liked it. I think that it perfectly wrapped up the trilogy that was going on. I know you always say it's repeat offendery, like they always have to teach him to be Spider-Man in every single one, but that's literally the point of his arc, bro.
No.
It's literally his shit.
No,
He's
it's
trying to
not.
become the best Spider-Man. Now, if rumors and leaks are true and they're saying that Tom Holland is supposed to be the prime Spider-Man of all the multiverse or something, I call cap on that shit. Unless they give him some major development in the next few movies, I don't see that happening. But as where No Way Home stands, I feel like it was a well done movie, put out at a great time. And I do feel, like I said, I feel like the ugliness came from the time that it was put out. The COVID
Isn't that part
time.
of it though?
Huh?
Isn't that part of like why people loved it? Because Marvel was putting out shit before it and after it.
So it's like the diamond in the
perfect,
rough
you know what I
type
mean?
shit.
Yeah.
And that's
That's how I felt.
That's a fair way to say it too. Like, I mean, that's probably like the only one that really drew in
It
tickets.
was like
and stuff
Snyder's
that.
Justice League.
Yeah. Oh.
It's not that great of a movie, but people loved it because of the timing. And
Huh.
the previous Justice League, I'm saying, like, it was way better than the first Justice League, the Snyder cut. And I think that's why people loved it, honestly. That's just my opinion, but you know what I'm saying?
I think we're done here. No,
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just think the first Justice League was terrible, and then they released a Snyder cut, and people loved it because of that reason. I felt like, because compared to the first one, it was way better.
No, people loved
that's just
it
me.
because it
No,
was
I'm
good.
I mean, agree to disagree.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
I'm not gonna say it was bad.
Oh man.
Oh,
no.
I'm not a DC. I'm not a big DC fan.
No,
So I mean, maybe that's part of it.
Oh, Man of Steel,
But never saw it. I know you guys love it.
Dear
I know that from
God.
what I've
BVS.
listened to you guys, but yeah.
For the love of God.
I like the fight scenes in BVS. The story, no, too many loopholes again.
This is a topic
Maybe
for a
that's
different day.
because
This is a
they
topic for a
don't
different day. This is a
realize
topic for a
that
different day.
dude
Oh
is setting them up,
God,
you know what I mean? I don't know.
anxiety ridden.
Okay.
Hey,
Moving
I'm sorry,
forward.
I'm being
I
honest,
think
man.
what?
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm just being honest. Like, I don't know.
No, yeah, no.
Hey, no, I
It's
enjoy
fine.
the
I
honesty.
felt like it was timing.
I enjoy the honesty. It's just more me. Like I have the natural urge to argue, and I just really want
Oh yeah,
to.
I get it.
And if this is something that you're willing to want to go, if you really want to go down this road, this is for another episode for a different day.
Oh yeah,
Because
I would
that
love
will
to-
be.
yeah. I would love to get into it, man.
I will get a
yeah.
PowerPoint.
We will put on a camera.
I
this
will
week.
get Zack Snyder himself to come down here and
Yeah.
tell you the
I'm not
story
saying it
on
was
how
bad.
epic it's
I'm not
supposed
saying
to
it was
be.
bad, but I'm just comparing it to the first one. So I thought that was played.
There's no
Straight up
comparison.
trash. The first one.
There's no comparison. That's the thing. There's
Yeah,
no.
no. Anyway,
But go ahead, Joe. Let me hear what your number. Oh,
he's number 2.
it's number 2, right?
Two,
Yeah. Let me hear your number 2.
Captain America: Civil War.
Oh.
The Captain America trilogy is my favorite. If you haven't noticed that, but,
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you got them
I feel
all
like
sprinkled.
they're all
out.
solid movies. I love the internal struggle here, battling against each other. The introduction of Spider-Man and Black Panther. I love all of it. I love the tunnel chase scene with Black Panther. It just felt like a very important film for the rest of the phase 3 or 4. What was it? I can't remember if it was 3 or 4. But
Winter
it was very
Soldier.
important.
Oh wait, no. Civil War came out. Yeah,
No,
phase
Civil
3.
War.
Phase 3.
Phase 3.
Okay, but it was a very important film at the time.
Yeah, it was epic. It was like the next Edward or Jacob type shit. Like everybody was like Team Iron Man, Team Cap. It was a great time to be alive.
Yeah, you had it. So that was something you had to experience.
Yeah. But no gripes. I feel like these movies deserve their spot. Civil War is just an iconic movie in itself. I think getting all these actors together once again for a movie that wasn't the Avengers was a big ticket in itself. You know?
For sure. Yeah.
The fact that they were able to pull it off and introduce new characters in the middle of all that and new places, like they just made it work. I don't know if that was just a fluke moment in history or if they were the geniuses that they are, but it was a perfect, near perfect movie if the CGI was up there. Yeah,
Interesting.
but I mean, no gripes from me.
Yeah,
I think I respect that one.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for somebody to
would've-
say something sideways.
I would've
No
loved-
Way Home was probably sideways. For
I would
you guys.
have loved to put it forward, but again, it had to fall in line. I think top 5 is perfect.
Yeah, well, 5th spot. Yeah, I agree with you a little bit more, but I can respect the top 3 position 100%. So, yeah.
All right,
Josh, number 2.
My number 2.
Come on now, hit it up.
Ready?
Yep.
Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I respect it as well.
I like how grounded this one is. I really enjoy that. I really enjoy that they up the ante. The hand-to-hand combat. This is what I wish every grounded MCU movie can aim for. Shang-Chi being another example. They kind of dabbled with it in Civil War again, with Tony fighting Bucky for a little bit in hand-to-hand with his little tech. Like, we just need more of that. The story. I'm a big fan of spy espionage shit, so that was pretty cool. Nick Fury, again, I love Samuel L. Jackson. I think this movie was just really perfect for its time in phase 2 when it came out. I think it's just a perfect sequel and a really good installment to the MCU.
Okay. All right. I can't even argue with that shit. Respectable film to put on second place too. Respect. What about you? Any gripes?
No, I had a top 5, but 2 is good for me too.
Well, there you go.
2. It is what it is. But my number 2, I'm giving it to Infinity War. Just to seal it up. I got to give it to that. 2 movies go hand in hand in my book. I say 3, but I like to keep one near and dear to my heart, so I don't make them compete. But 2 movies usually go for it, and maybe you guys are going to be like, it's nostalgia ridden with my first number 1 or whatever, but at the end of the day, Infinity War belongs at its number 2 because it was ambitious. I think this was one of the movies that, one thing I always say too, is that I like when the villain wins. I want the villain to win once in a while. Like, how is it that the hero always comes out on top? Let's be realistic. Sometimes it's just not enough. That's why I told you I feel Quantumania would have been a better story and a better show of force for Kang if he would have killed Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Like if Paul Rudd would have been done, it would have solidified something bigger to come. But they shied away from it. There's a lot of, and then what's his name? In Captain America Civil War, I'll say that's another gripe. What's his face shouldn't have been blown up in the sky. I felt he should have won, blew up the building and got away. And it should have been like, well, can they even do the job? Are they capable? Should we be interfering and improving on them, kind of thing?
Talking about Crossbones.
Yeah. Crossbones when he got blown up by Wanda. Like there should be more villains winning, and Thanos winning in this one, even though I kind of felt it was far-fetched only because he could take a stab to the chest and still snap and survive and go on and pick fruit and shit like that. Like, come on, gee, it is what it is. But maybe that's a gripe for Endgame, but at least for Infinity War, they did what they had to do. I like the fear that they did with Thanos, and I will say they fumbled the ball with the whole Hulkbuster suit because they should have had Banner at least try to get his lick back.
Yeah,
and
at some point,
nothing. It was just Hulk
it's
not wanting to do it.
Crazy to think about because I mean, in Infinity War, Thanos wins, and then before that, Zemo won technically because he succeeded in breaking up the Avengers.
Yeah,
it's crazy, actually.
Yeah,
they just kept taking L's. No,
basically it until Endgame, and they came on top, and it was triumphant. But no gripes from you guys when it comes to my placement.
That's fair.
I feel like we're all respectable, right?
That's fair.
This is playing into what I'm going to ask you guys at the end of this because we're getting close to it. I think you guys are following what I thought you guys were going to do, so it's going to be pretty perfect. But what about you, Joe? What is your number 1 top spot MCU movie? The one that you will always pick.
Infinity War, without a doubt.
There you go.
There isn't a minute of this film I didn't enjoy. It had intrigue, it has action, it has drama, it has comedy.
The stakes are there.
I also have the ending part where the good guys lose. It was a very risky film that paid off. The acting was amazing.
Yeah.
The cast was
For
great.
sure,
I mean,
sure.
Thanos, every scene with Thanos is fucking nail biting, like edge of your seat. Best villain easily for me in the MCU.
There you go. Yeah.
He put the paws on Iron Man, bro.
Threw a moon at his ass.
that scene with Loki was so fucking devastating. And
Dude, that scene got me too.
realistic.
He's like, you'll never be a god.
I thought they were going to kill Thor too.
Shit
Yeah.
strangled.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were going to pop Thor's head too.
Yeah.
I was really worried about that.
I thought there were some stakes there. They showed
This
that.
was the magnus opus of the MCU, without a doubt, like perfection.
And Kang is supposed to fill those shoes.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Hulk should have been able to put the paws on Null Obsidian though. Like, I'm mad we didn't at least get that.
That's something those are fumbles for a what if series, but it is what it is. I can't even argue with that placement. Number 1 is a perfect spot for it. It could always be tossed and turned around. I think Infinity War should always be top 3, for sure, because it's just a perfect movie. They actually nailed everything, even down to Spider-Man, like in the beginning. So maybe it's because they didn't give Ned enough time to fuck it up, but it is what it is. But what's your number one, Josh? Your top spot. Come on now.
Iron Man 2.
Yeah, I mean,
I really like this one. Obviously, this is my opinion. Okay.
Yeah, no.
I really enjoy everything you said about it. I like Justin Hammer. I told you, I wish we could see more of him in Armor Wars or something. Whiplash. He was pretty cool. I like Iron Man. I like that Iron Man faced a real problem here. It was obviously his alcohol addiction. He was dying. He didn't know where else to go. So he turned with the bottle, and I kind of enjoy that aspect. I wish we could have played on that a bit more. But honestly, I feel myself coming back to this one all the time. And the introduction to War Machine, so that's pretty cool.
Very good. Okay, I'm not even mad about that. It's interesting. Top 10 for sure. Top 5 is crazy, but I can tell that you love this movie, and it's even with its plot holes, you can embrace it, and I can deal with that. But from a movie perspective and a filmmaking perspective, it should have never cracked top 5. Like, never. I would say it should have never cracked top 8.
No.
But I can from an emotional, I can respect it. It's kind of like like I was saying about Captain America 1, but I respect that. Okay. I can. But what about you, Joe? What's your gripe?
I mean, he has a personal connection to it, so I'm not gonna knock it at all. It's all opinion.
No, fucking digging his feelings,
like
bro.
it.
Come on, I need the content. Get up
I
in
don't
there.
enjoy the Iron Man solo movies. I really don't.
No? Okay. Why is that? Elaborate.
He's just he's a dickhead. I don't know. He's not relatable. He's like a rich asshole. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Oh, you gotta be a rich asshole.
Did you player? I like when he's part of the Avengers.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So it's like how I feel with Thor, where he's just better in the Avengers films.
Like Iron Man grew on me as the films went on, and Iron Man 2 is still an early film, if I recall.
Yeah,
was it
phase 1?
Phase 1. So yeah, I just didn't have that dynamic yet with him. So, but I don't knock it. It's personal. You have a connection. You felt the story more than we did. So.
No, yeah, it's really good.
I won't knock that.
He's like, "Where's my Bard?"
Or my I'm gonna rewatch it now, though. I want to rewatch it now.
Bro, me too. No, talking about it.
Yeah, I talking about the Marvel
Infinity War.
Cinematic.
I can watch every day, like literally.
Yeah,
to me.
I think I was on a good Infinity War high too. Like as soon as it got on Disney Plus, I was watching that shit.
Yeah.
I was on repeat.
I kind of want to do a rewatch now. So.
I know, me too, dude. Me too. I'm already thinking about it. But just to top it off,
your number one.
My number one is the OG Iron Man. I can't agree with you. Okay. Iron Man's my favorite hero. I think I always like that he kind of, even though he is that asshole, you could tell that he's an asshole with a heart. And they kind of show that throughout the movies, that he has soft spots for the people he cares about, but he could give a fuck about the world. And I could enjoy that. And then you can see as his arcs go on through the movies that he starts giving a fuck about that world. And that's why Suit of Armor tries to, stop invasions. Like, he went from being a selfish billionaire to becoming what he was by the end of Endgame. But this first movie was perfect, so perfect that they had to repeat it with Doctor Strange. That's like my argument. Like they it's so perfect down to the villain. Even though, like I said, this was the beginning of that villain problem that I'm telling you guys about. They either kill him off, or they rehabilitate him, or they basically just don't bring him back anymore.
Obadiah.
We're Scorpion.
That's what I've been saying.
Like what the fuck? Well, I've been waiting on him for forever.
Yeah.
But at least for that movie, I could say that it made sense. He betrayed you. He wasn't gonna stop, and he basically killed himself at the end. It was great. CGI was great. This is where I was like, what the fuck? Like, we are in the future. That metal looks so real, but you know that it's fucking fake. It's insane. This is where I was like, okay, well, that they're not afraid to get their hands dirty either. Fucking Iron Man killed 3 fucking people, bro. Like, it was insane. It's a great movie overall. It was the movie that kickstarted the MCU. the respect is there for it.
For sure.
I love that movie.
I get it. Yeah.
First Iron Man movie is always going to be the best Iron Man.
Okay. I get it. No real gripes with it. I get it.
Yeah. Everybody understands. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, that's going to conclude our top 10. But it proves my point that nothing has been good until.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe one or two movies have been good after Endgame, but for the most part, we can all be in agreement that Marvel's not in a good spot.
Yeah, no. Because even I thought about putting some of the Phase 4 movies that I liked. Like, I debated on putting Wakanda Forever on a low 10. Same thing. I know Multiverse of Madness ended up high. Like I said, I debated on No Way Home, Shang-Chi. But I don't know. I just feel like there's something missing. And it's like, for me, I couldn't put them up against the ones that I know I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate that I couldn't put a Guardians of the Galaxy in here, but I don't know.
You know what? And I thought you would. I thought you were going to.
I would put two,
what kept
if I
you
did.
away? Those being like in my opinion, Guardians of the Galaxy was always the starter of that whole comedy formula. So
Yeah.
I was assuming I was going to see at least volume 3 or maybe the first one on your list. Why is it that you didn't get it on there?
I think James Gunn, honestly, he just doesn't fully commit into the whole MCU. He almost wants every film to be his own and not the MCU. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. I think he's good with comedy, really good with that. Soundtracks are phenomenal. They almost play like operas, you know what I mean? Like his soundtracks to the movies. I just don't think he commits enough to the actual MCU. Like they're great standalone movies. Don't get me wrong. I love the cast. I love Rocket Raccoon.
He's just not a team player, basically.
Yeah, I like the group of misfits. I love the whole story of that.
Okay, but just
I would have put 2 in there if anything, because it has the most comedy, I think. And
Okay,
that's crazy.
the
interesting.
story's a little iffy with the
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the second one for me is probably the worst one.
Yeah, I would say so too.
I just like it for the comedy aspect. 3, they tried too hard with comedy, and failed.
I feel that.
3 had the most emotional
I feel that.
turns to it.
100%.
1 was great too, but that fucking dance off was silly.
I hated
But
that
as the
shit.
ending
I
of
hate
the
that shit
movie.
for the
Come on,
longest
like,
time,
fight.
dude.
Don't fucking dance. Like, come on.
So
And
dumb.
that's a James Gunn thing, you know.
You know what? I thought it was funny for the movie itself, and then when it continued into number 2 and 3, I was just like, well, you know, maybe
not.
maybe we shouldn't. Yeah, his comedy's not for us 100%, but I know it's getting late over there, man. I don't want to hold you up too much longer. We got our list out of the way. We are all in agreement that Marvel's not in a great place.
Yeah, no.
And Joe, I want to get your take on this first. Everybody says that Marvel is in shambles. I mean, we've seen all these YouTubers, all these influencers, they flipped on them. You being in the trenches, one would say, watching this unfold from your neck of the woods, do you think that Marvel can come back, and what is the best way, in your opinion, for that to happen?
I want to talk about like the stuff they announced, at least some of it. I think Kraven the Hunter looks good. I don't think it's going to tie in though, right, to the MCU.
That wouldn't be MCU.
Okay.
That's not going to be
That's
MCU.
Sony?
I think the only MCU movies that we have down the pipeline right now are the Thunderbolts, Kang Dynasty, Secret
Fantastic
Wars,
Four,
Fantastic
Blade,
Four,
and
Blade.
then the ones we got this year, Quantumania, the Marvels.
So out of those, I would say, what is that Misfits movie called? What is it? What'd you say it was?
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. That looks good. I like the cast. I love the chick from Black Widow, her sister.
Oh, Elena.
Yeah, I love that character. Secret War looks. I think that's going to be good. I think Kang Dynasty could be good. It's all about Jonathan Majors, honestly. If he doesn't get put away, I think there's a lot of hope, honestly. Yeah. I think Kang is the hope. So if Kang gets shut down or they get a new actor, I think it'll fail.
Okay. All right. So you think this hinges all on Jonathan Majors?
Right
Mostly.
now, yeah, because I think
Yeah.
he's the best thing we have right now, other than Doctor Strange and Wanda.
Okay. What about you, Josh? What do you think?
I mean, yeah. I've said it before. I was looking forward to Fantastic Four whenever that comes out. Blade, assuming Marshall Ali is still part of it. Thunderbolts, I'm not too sure. Their roster is a little odd to me, and I don't know if they're gonna do Century justice. But yeah, no, I would say the same. I think Jonathan Majors. It all hinges on if he's guilty or not. It's a lot of like he's just an interesting villain, and I know you probably don't think so, but I think that's like their ticket. That's their big ticket. Because without basically, because they've centered it around him and the multiverse, and without him, or at least Jonathan Majors, I think they'll just miss out.
Miss out on the next Thanos.
I don't think that they like. I like them, and I understand where you guys are coming from. I just don't think that they planted him or cemented him enough to. I think they did in the wrong ways. I think they did by doubling down on showing him and trying to plant him as his big bad while simultaneously getting his ass kicked by everybody. So it's bad form for your big bad. Like Thanos, all you heard was scary stories from him. You would hear, oh, he annihilated this and did this. He went out and destroyed worlds or whatever. If you knew that Thanos was taking fat shits on the weekend, fucking on his knees, fucking begging for mercy, he's not gonna be as hard as you thought of. He would have been.
God.
Yeah, like he's not gonna be as hard as what you would have thought he was gonna be. So I already think they fumbled the bag there with Kang. Like I said, if they would have killed off Scott, it would have been different. If they would have showed his presence a little bit more, that he's doing some fuckery within the multiverse and timelines and stuff like that, it would cement him a little bit more. But we see him here and there, and when we do see him, he's getting his ass beat. So it's like, how can you hinge something on him in the first place if you're not even showing him to be this triumphant villain?
Do you think that was purposely because of his lawsuit, like him potentially being locked away, his the actor, you know what I mean, like almost killing him off in Quantumania? He's not really dead, right? Technically.
Well, because there's multiple versions of him.
Right, there's tons of them, right?
Yeah, there's always a bigger and better one. That's what he was basically saying in the Loki season finale. So there's always going to be a Kang per se, but it's just the fact that if there's always going to be one, they should all know what they're doing. I mean, the one in Quantumanium, obviously, he was a dunce. That's why he was banished in the first place. But at the end of the day, it's like you still got to show some kind of force, you know?
Yeah, have him kill somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I thought.
Go an upper hand.
Scott should have bit the bullet, man.
No, he fucking killed the floating head.
So dumb.
Who cares? I personally think that the Marvel MCU as a whole, I think it's in a spot where it's about to be make or break time. I think the big movie that people are really going to hinge their faith on right now is Deadpool 3. I think that they can crawl back from the ashes if Echo does good and, whatever else comes out. But honestly, if I want to be 110% honest, I think Agatha is going to be the nail in the coffin for a lot of people.
I forgot that show existed.
And so, will Deadpool 3 be too late for some people? Can they win the hearts of the people and they will come back? Who knows?
I want to say so.
That's something. I think it's possible, but they need us. You can tell that they're trying to turn the ship now with Echo. Like, you can tell off the trailer. Mm-hmm. But if they don't start getting that shit right, it will be done for good, and they're gonna have to reboot sometime. But I think it can still be saved. I think a lot of people are throwing it over proportion when they're like, it's completely dead. Right now it's just at a low point. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's completely dead. It can be brought back. They just got to make the right decisions from here on out.
Yeah. Soups, cashing in and being like, oh, it's in shambles or whatever. Like, he knows people are going to watch his videos if he thinks it's over. But I wouldn't say that. It's definitely at a low point. I agree. The Marvels is just going to have to be an L on their boat right now.
Mm-hmm.
Until they start turning the ship around and getting W's. Tracking to do less than Black Adam.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, Marvels is not going to be the ticket that they are looking for. 100%. Look at this shit.
Dude, so you guys are DC fans. Do you think DC is in a worse spot or the MCU
Oh,
is?
DC's never... The thing is that they're two different things. DC has never been in the conversation. That's the problem. They were in the conversation back in 2016, in my opinion. But after everything that happened, they fumbled the bag immediately. They don't know whose fans are whose. They got everything divided. The only thing I can say about Marvel is that at least they're all on the same page, fan wise.
Yeah,
you know the gripes that are going to be said: CGI. Bad acting, green screen, whatever. Like, you already know, but they're still going to watch the next project. I mean, I watched a few projects, even though I was sick of it. I was like, I'm going to give it a chance. I wanted to come back. I'm going to give it a chance. But now, I mean, I haven't even watched Loki season 2 because everything has just put me at a low spot. I'm not really excited to watch the Marvels either. That's me personally, but that's what Marvel has done. They really damaged their brand. They went from we make no mistakes to holy fuck, we hit every branch on the way down.
That's funny.
Well, quantity over quality. I mean, that's what it comes down to for me.
I don't even care, bro. Brie Larson's bad. I don't even give a shit. I don't care what anybody says.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Bad acting or bad
acting aside, but
yeah, all right.
She's
no, they're bad.
Yeah. She
could get it.
Yes, 100%. Not her acting,
Can't
but
ScarJo get it, but
yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But with that, that's gonna be the end of it. We've discussed Marvel. We're hoping for a comeback, right? We're all in good faith about it.
Yeah,
correct. I'm rooting for them.
So, are we watching the Marvels?
Obviously, me and you are watching the Marvels.
Oh, well, yeah. Joe?
Yeah, I'll watch it too. Yeah, when it comes to Disney, yeah.
Disney Plus.
That shit. Like, I'm not wasting my money
in
on
a
that
few
shit.
weeks after premiere.
Not even worth. No. Not even worth the popcorn. Nope.
He said, not even worth the gas
Worth
to
the
go
bag
to
of popcorn.
the...
No. I mean,
we
it's gonna
have
be a
to.
crapshoot.
We have to, obviously. We're gonna have to. And just one more time, I don't know if you said it earlier, but just for them to be clear about it, are you not watching because of the actors? Because Marvel completely checked you out? Is this superhero fatigue? What is this?
It's characters. I don't care about the character. I don't care about Miss Marvel.
You don't want to see a bunch of kids?
Nope. And I watched the trailer. It doesn't look good at all. I guess the cool concept is them switching powers, not on purpose, but that's a kind of interesting concept, I guess. But other than that, no, I'm not really interested.
Goofy yet? No.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It seems like Miss Marvel Part 2,
the
second season. You know?
Yeah, I'm assuming they're gonna play the Skrulls are gonna play some kind of role. I don't know to what capacity, but
did they find their fucking homeland finally? Damn,
no, they're
all of them. Out of all of them, I like Monica Rambeau the most. I mean, that's saying a lot, I guess.
No,
I couldn't even say that.
I mean, that's just me personally.
Yeah, no, and I can probably see why, but
just because of WandaVision.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I like Kamala Khan. I just thought her show was shit. Like, I like her as Kamala Khan. I like how bubbly her energy is. I think she's funny in the trailer. I just don't. I don't know.
Disney.
Yeah, too Disney.
Two children.
Yeah, but she could have. I think she could be good if they handled her better. Brie Larson's character, I just think they need to recast her. I think there's just too much hate on her character. I think that's I think that's the big issue with her. So it is what it is. But
yeah,
here we are at the end. guys, the Marvel's coming out November 10th. Joe's excited for it. Josh is excited for it. I'm excited for it. We're gonna go ahead and be excited for the MCU. Joe from the Pita Joe Podcast. Make sure that you guys go follow, go check out his socials. If you want to go ahead and drop them right now, Joe, and then just listen to his stuff. He has a good podcast, 100%. You have anything to say before you head on out?
No, I had a good time with you guys. Really good time. Love you guys. Love your show. Love your channel.
Appreciate that.
You guys are completely honest. I love it. Listen to you guys a lot now. So
Thank you.
Hey,
keep doing your shit, man. It's awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
You guys. Yeah.
With that being said, if you guys want to support us in a big way, do all that good stuff, we said it in the beginning. Go ahead and check that out. This one was a long episode. We'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.